Hi. Welcome to my channel, everybody. Um, we're gonna talk about things. First of all, somebody left a message. Before I get started, hello, my name is Nomadic Kitty. I discuss K-pop. I do a weekly news live stream. Sorry, you guys, I'm late. Nicole Loss says, why are you spreading false information? Suga has been praised. I put links on my YouTube short. There is a petition going around for Suga to be banned from KBS. That is the main topic of today. Period. I am not talking about what's in American media or international media or I'm not talking about the media. So some people were like, "Oh, are you talking about the media?" I'm not talking about what's in the news or what's in the media. I'm talking about the petition that was out there. And again, this is not things I'm making up. This is actually in the news. It was in the Korean Times. It was in Koreaboo and other places, but we'll get to that in a minute. So no, this is not fake news or false information. These are the only reason I knew about it is because two other YouTubers did a story about it. And I went to look it up and I'm like, what's really going on? So before you accuse of me of spreading false information, you go to Google, because Google is your friend. Hello, Army. Google is your friend. And if you go to Google, you will see the articles and the stories. Not what's on TikTok, not what's on, just Google is your friend. Okay. On my channel, I do a weekly K-pop live stream. I talk about the news of the week and not everything that happens in K-pop, mostly Army, because mostly BTS because I'm BTS Army. So most of the stuff I talk about usually is BTS, but not always though. Hello, JK. So yeah, so somebody, as you see in the comments, is like, why are you spreading false information? I'm like, this is a story that's out there. It's not like I'm making this up. This is a real story. So, in this live stream, I'm going in the comment section, once it's all processed, probably like in a day, I will put timestamps so people who are rewatching it can see the can see what we're talking about and skip to the parts that you want to see, because I know some of y'all. In my live streams are like a dish. Okay, my live streams are like a good dinner. It's like I don't know who Lamar Jackson is. No idea who that is. I don't know who Lamar Jackson is. No, I don't know who that is. I'm not on TikTok. I don't follow BTS on social media like some of y'all do. No, I don't know who Lamar Jackson is. I don't know who that is. He's an NFL player. I'm a BTS channel. I'm a BTS channel. You want to come here and talk about BTS? We can do it. Okay. That inconsequential to me. I don't talk about NFL. I don't talk about sports. But anyway, my channel is like a good meal. We start out with the appetizer. We get to the main dish. The main dish is sugar. And then we do dessert, where we just kind of get off the rails and start talking about everybody and everything after a while. So that's what the people are asking about some NFL player. I don't even know what I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what that means. Put your hand on the I don't know what that means. So that's how the live streams go. We're going to talk about just some quick hits with K-pop news. Then we're going to get into the Suga thing. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the BTS members and what they've been doing this past last weekend. RM has released some things on Instagram. Again, I'm not on Instagram, so I don't follow them on none of the members on Instagram. The only reason I know what people are doing on Instagram is because nice YouTubers that I do follow, or YouTube will recommend shorts that will pop up and they'll be like, oh, this is RM. And then, I'll sometimes put it in my posts on my channel. And by the way, like, share, subscribe to my channel, because, that's how we do it. But RM was out. I believe he's traveling. He did a picture. He did your story. He did a bunch of stuff. So apparently he's abroad or has been abroad. Again, I don't when somebody posts things on Instagram, you don't really know like when they were actually there. So these could have been things that could have happened last weekend or a couple of days ago. We don't really know. I don't know where he's at. I tried to look at the pictures, but it looks like someplace. Oh, he's in Switzerland. Okay, I was about to say it looks like he was in someplace in Europe. Because just by looking at the scenery, I was like, that doesn't look like America. That definitely looks like Europe. So he was in Switzerland. JK said he was in Switzerland. Okay. Well, he was with friends. He was having a good time at art galleries, nature. RM's out here, hopefully on a good, nice break because he just got out of the military high, Figgin. And so hopefully RM is getting his much needed rest that he needs. So that's RM. Last weekend, Kim Tae-young was, I heard, on Jeju Island, and somebody had posted he had posted some stuff on Instagram, and stuff like that. So Kim Tae-young was at Jeju Island. I heard somebody put it in one of the comments saying that, and he was out with some friends and he had a cake. And I also heard that he was meeting, not only were he with friends and family on Jeju, allegedly, supposedly, he was also with some producers or music producer. So I don't know what Kim Tae-young is doing. So y'all, whatever he's doing, okay, it's maybe business and pleasure. Hello, Marsha. Maybe business and pleasure. I don't know. But Kim Tae-young was looking cute. He was drinking. He was hanging out with some guys and some people. Kim Tae-young looked like he was having fun. So we talked about RM in Switzerland, Kim Tae-young hanging out with his family, whatever. Jimin and Jungkook are out. Also, there were rumors that they were in Vietnam. He was a director. Oh, the person he was with was a director, maybe. Okay, not a music producer, maybe a director. Okay, so what was I saying? Jimin and Jungkook were out. Apparently, one of the places I heard that they were out in Vietnam. Again, I don't follow these people on social media, so I don't know if they don't post on Weverse, I don't see it. But Jungkook and Jimin just got back like yesterday or today, and they were out of the country. There's rumors going around that they're filming another season of Are You Sure? That's the name of the show. I never watched that show. Unfortunately, I never watched Are You Sure? But supposedly they are either they're on vacation together and just being on vacation, or they're filming another season of Are You Sure? People was making the theory that they're doing Are You Sure? Okay, so that's just a rumor. That's just a theory. Okay, well, I can dig it. I mean, I can see them doing it because when the picture that I saw of them in Vietnam, it definitely looked like staff were with them. So I could say that it looked like staff. I understand they had security with them, but it looked like there was staff with them. So it looked like security and staff. So maybe that's why people came up with the theory. Are You Sure? It was funny. Was it funny? I need to watch it. I have not watched that. I wasn't BTS on when it came out. I was not Army then. So yeah, because they're traveling different countries together. People had that theory. And again, the pictures that I saw of them in Vietnam, that looked like they had staff with them. And so I was like, if they're just traveling, they usually don't have that much staff with them. But I mean, anything, but we don't really know. We won't know until we know. But it would make sense. It would make sense them filming another season. People really like that show. I've seen clips of it on YouTube. So that would make sense that they were out, filming. But then again, they could have just been on vacation. J-Hope was at the men's Louis Vuitton, Louis V, LV Fashion Week. He was there in the front row. He was looking very cute. Okay, thank you, Nolan. J-Hope was looking really cute. J-Hope was looking really debonair. He sat in the front row of the men's fashion week, which is like the VIP section. Pharrell, who I didn't know Pharrell is like the creative director of Louis V since 2022 or something. I didn't know that. I know Pharrell as a singer and as a producer and a songwriter. That's what I know. Me and Pharrell, let me tell you, me and Pharrell go way back. Like I was a Pharrell fan when he was with Nerds and everything. Like he was with this group called Nerds, and I've been rocking with Pharrell for a long time. He's very talented. I actually met him once a long, long time ago, like over 20 years ago when they were on tour. I actually met them when they came to Dallas and like kind of like low key hung out with them. But anyway, they if you look up Pharrell in the group Nerds, there's an Asian guy in the group. Anyway, that's a time for another day. It's another day and another story, okay? Because I have to tell that story. It's nothing scandalous. It's just that I won't get into that right now. It's nothing scandalous, but I met Pharrell like 20 years ago. Um, and he was a real shy, real shy, kind of nerdy dude. Like he had a whole vibe to him that I was like, I said, this dude gonna be something great one. I said, this dude has potential because he is very, very talented. He plays different instruments, he writes, composes, he knows how to do jazz, and he studied jazz and classical music. Like, if you don't know anything about Pharrell Williams is a very massively talented person. And a massively, from I knew him back then, was a real chill guy, real cool guy, real chill, real cool, kind of soft spoken, kind of quiet. And he kind of seems like the same kind of guy, but just a real nice, real sweet guy. And he grew up in the suburbs. Like it's a whole thing. Like, you know, I knew him way back in the day. And I met him. Actually, I met him twice. But that, like I said, was a long time ago. But Pharrell actually went up to when he was greeting people in the front row, and he went up to J-Hope, and I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, he went up to, because of course he's kind of collaborated with J-Hope or whatever. So J-Hope has done TikTok challenges. J-Hope has been out here living his best life, y'all. J-Hope has been so busy. And so has Army. Army, you guys got J-Hope to the top of the Mnet. I don't know, y'all talk amongst yourselves because I know what Mnet is. It's in Korea. And I know what the charts is. I don't, because people have to vote, I believe. And again, I've never voted on Mnet. I know what the Mnet awards are. But I don't know the voting system or how that exactly works. So y'all know better than I do about the whole Mnet thing. But apparently, there's like a ranking system, and then you can like email or I don't know, do it through an app and vote, and then the person performs on Mnet. I don't know, y'all know how they go, okay? So I'm just talking about stuff I barely know about, but that was a big deal because I saw it pop up on people's channels on YouTube talking about J-Hope is number one on Mnet. So congratulations, J-Hope. He's been out here. J-Hope's been doing the Lord's work. J-Hope got out of the military. We are trying to win the voting for week 2. Okay, so apparently Mnet, there's a voting for whoever the most popular artist is. I guess I would say that is that accurate? Like I said, y'all know more than me. But either way, congratulations to J-Hope and congratulations to Armies for voting. Y'all put in some hard. Apparently, y'all be putting in hard work. I've never voted for nothing for any artist in my life. I don't have Spotify. I don't have iTunes. I don't listen to music like that. Oh, it's a voting for popular song. Okay. Y'all say y'all could. That's why I asked y'all, because y'all got to. That's just not my thing. Again, I don't download music. I don't have Spotify. None of this stuff. If I listen to BTS, it's going to be on YouTube through their official channels. So if they're talking about YouTube numbers, I'm like, I'm in it. Let me just put it on loop. I got 5 TVs in my house. Boom, boom, boom. You want to talk about some YouTube numbers? I'm like, all right, Kiki, I'm there. But the Mnet and all that, the voting for the awards, it goes right over my head. I'm just like, that's obviously not my thing. But that's what J-Hope was doing. J-Hope also got flack online. Okay, also, J-Hope got flack online from supposedly, from what I hear, is YG haters, YG fans, or G-Dragon. First of all, G-Dragon and J-Hope and all of them are cool with each other. So I find this very laughable. But J-Hope was on the way leading up to the Louis V show. J-Hope, you know, they show him like getting dressed. They show him going to his hotel room. And J-Hope got out of the car. And you can tell he was probably jet lagged and tired. I mean, the man is tired. He's been working overtime. And he got out of the car and he kind of like put his head down and walked and kind of ducked his head down. So online, he was getting backlash, supposedly, allegedly, because I read this in several articles. He was getting backlash from people saying that he was trying to copy G-Dragon because he ducked his head down. And they like, well, G-Dragon does that because G-Dragon has anxiety. And J-Hope did the same head move that G-Dragon did. I'm like, maybe he ducked his head down because he was hungry. I don't, maybe he tired. Maybe they was camera, they looked like people, there was people, people was all up in his face. Maybe he was just tired. Maybe his neck hurt. Maybe J-Hope was like, my neck, okay? He, all he did was get out the car and like ducked his head. And I was like, this was like a thing apparently on TikTok. Again, I'm not on TikTok. Like, I don't follow these people. I don't follow armies. I'm not in these spaces, y'all. So when it gets to me, it's serious because since I'm not in all of these social media spaces, when I find out about it, it's made the news. It's in Korean news. It's on YouTube. It's in articles. It's made it to the Korean boards. So that kind of ticked me off. And then thanks to JK who explained, yeah, he was just trying to get a good camera picture. Right. Like he wasn't ducking his head down like any anxiety thing. J-Hope is a pretty affable guy, but he can have his off days too. And I don't know the reason when he barely dipped his head a little bit. And maybe he was trying to get a good angle on the camera. Maybe he was tired. I don't know. Maybe he had a headache. I don't know what it was. But the fact that people went crazy online saying he was copying G-Dragon. Yeah, let that sink in. So that's what happened with BTS this week. And end. So on to the next story. The next story I want to talk about is Stray Kids. Now, if you guys subscribe to my channel, which by the way, you should, I know there's a bunch of nameless and faceless ass channels. I know there's a bunch of reactor channels. Hello, BTS Army. There's a bunch of reactor channels out there. I am not a reactor channel. I am not a gossip channel. I'm Army. I am a BTS fan. I am a new Army. I have a whole video explaining how I became Army, but then I also go to concerts. So I went to Stray Kids a couple of weeks ago. I went to BB. I haven't posted BB, but I did post a video about Stray Kids and I did a little concert vlog. It's my first like real concert vlog. In the news of Stray Kids in DC in America, Stray Kids had a concert. The venue that they went to is an outdoor venue. Now, I'm in Texas. Texas is what I consider real heat. It's really, really hot here. Here today, it was 91 degrees. It felt like 102. And when Texas is 102, probably the rest of the world, y'all probably think it's like 150 because it is very, very humid in Texas. Now, DC is up north, so I didn't think DC got that hot. But then again, it just depends on your tolerance levels. Let's see. Do I like NHYBE? Yes. I went to an NHYBE concert in 2023. It's a very good concert. Sun U is my favorite NHYBE member. Hello, Samantha. JK says YG stands are doing this like to every idol. If they find similarities between them, then in their favorite. Okay, well, I didn't know. We're gonna talk about YG in a minute. Yeah, Lucky. Yeah, NHYBE was great. I was in like row 19 at American Airlines Center in NHYBE. It was they were phenomenal. They were very, very good. I had never heard any of their songs, and well, I've heard Bite Me, and that's about it. And I like their new song Outside, by the way. If you guys support NHYBE, they're a HYBE umbrella. They have a new song called, I believe it's Outside, and it's really good, and I like it. The Stadium DC is known, Camilla Tia, one of my favorites is here. The stadium in DC is known for having problems. The stadium reviewer rated it low. So what happened was, at the stadium, I saw fans were posting videos like they always do of the lead up. So I went online and looked at videos. First of all, the fans are waiting outside, which is not unusual, okay? Second of all, they were waiting inside, which is like, okay, for a while. And it's a bunch of people crammed in. So, a bunch of people bring body heat. Y'all know bring body heat. Y'all dressed up in y'all cute little K-pop outfits and y'all like, hey, girl. And then, it's hot. So I didn't know it got that hot in Washington. It's Texas. It's much more hotter here. But the venue is not an outdoor venue, but there's a hole in the roof, so there's no AC. Even Stray Kids were complaining that it was hot. Even they're dancers, and they got a lot of dancers. Stray Kids be up there dancing. They be up there, do. They be up there dancing. They got dancers. They got laser shows. They got lights. They got flames. They got flamethrowers. They got smoke. They have a lot of lighting. They got lit up screens. So I know for them, they were drenched. But they're K-pop singers. They're used to dancing. But even they were like, okay, this is a problem. Then I heard in the arena, they were selling bottles of water for $8. Now, I'm not trying to laugh, y'all, because this is how stadiums make their money. They don't make a lot of money on the tickets. They only make a certain amount or a certain percentage. So they make their money by selling concessions. So they make their money by selling alcohol, food, water. $8 for a bottle of water. Then on top of that, when you go to a concert, you can't bring in no food, no outside food to drink. So you better be really, really hydrated before you get there. Now, all of the venues that me and Jennifer go to when we go to our concerts have been indoor air conditioning venues. In the state of Texas, you will lose your life. You will be just you will lose your life in Texas at an outdoor venue. Like the heat is no joke. When we went to go see ATs last year, we waited outside in August in the Texas heat, and it felt like it was 105 degrees. We waited outside for 3 hours. However, the venue, I don't know whether it's the venue, the group, or whatever, they had these big things, these big chests full of water that you can grab a water and stay hydrated. But most concerts, they do have ambulance on site. Now, for Stray Kids, thank God they did, because while the concert is going on, Stray Kids is looking in the audience and seeing people like just boom. They like, wait a minute, give them some water. Stray Kids was so annoyed that they were having their management team pull water and hand it out to people. They were yelling at their teams like, give these people water. Can somebody get these people some water? Stray Kids. Felix, tell me, Daddy. Tell me, Opa. I know you was out there. I know Bang Chan was like, you better get these people some water. They were really, really concerned. Stray Kids didn't even finish the concert. They just turned the lights off, was like, okay, time to go home. Ambulance came. There was like 6 to 8 people that almost met Jesus that passed out. This is not a shot or anything at Stray Kids. Again, JYP is the agency for Stray Kids. It's not the artist's fault. It is sometimes not JYP's fault. Sometimes it's the event. Again, it's the promoter. Sometimes it's Live Nation, Rock Nation, whoever that does. I don't know who does Stray Kids concert. I don't know who their promoter and organizer is. But whoever chose this venue, and I understand sometimes you don't have the choice of the venue. You just have to go wherever the dates take you, whatever that's not booked. But they should have had more water out there. They should have had more water out there. This is poor management. Leave Suga. Well, he didn't do anything wrong. Suga did not. We're going to talk about Suga in a minute. But this is poor management. I mean, this is somebody's to blame. And then if people have, look, let me tell y'all, the heat is no joke, y'all. A heat stroke is like your brain overheating, and it can cause health effects. Depending on how severe it is, it can cause health effects. Again, when we went to ATs, I'm looking at my sister-in-law. She's probably watching this video, and she's getting paler and paler and paler. Like, I could see the look on her face. For people who have low iron, who are anemic, everybody has their own tolerance for heat. If you're not used to being out in the heat like this, me and my sister-in-law, we work in offices, we work indoors. So, if you're used to being outside in the heat, that's one thing. But if you're not, and then if you're anemic and you have other underlying health issues, heart issues, blood pressure issues, the heat is not anything to play with. You will lose your life out in this heat. So y'all, when y'all go out there to these concerts, please, 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 make sure y'all drink a lot of water, whether it's indoor or outdoor. Because even when we went to go see Stray Kids, even though the venue was indoor, it still was hot. It was just walking from where we parked to the venue was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. So y'all just be careful, okay? Y'all just be careful on these streets out here in these concerts. You have to look out for yourself. You have to drink plenty of water, especially during the summertime. And I would say for me, we don't go to any outdoor or anyone that they got a hole in the roof and there's no AC. We just don't do it. Like, I'm not going to put myself in danger. I got kids at the house. I can't be putting myself in danger for a K-pop concert. Nobody wants to go to a concert and go see your favorite and end up passing out, and you wasted the money. Your health is possibly future infected, because again, a heat stroke is no joke. If y'all want to do anything, go online and look up the effects of a heat stroke. It will shock you. Like, it can cause, all kinds of neurological issues. It can cause issues. It takes a while for your body to get over a heat stroke. Like, it's a very, very serious thing. And then you get into the fact that if the fans did pass out and they did go to the hospital, they're going to have massive hospital bills because, of course, this is America. So, their hospital bills are going to be like $10,000, $15,000, even though they didn't, even for the ambulance to attend to them, let's just say they were okay after the ambulance, they're going to have an ambulance bill. So you're going to get into the point where some people probably are going to file lawsuits. And that's just not a good look on stray kids. This is not a good look for any artist for this to happen to. Y'all remember a few years ago, what was the artist that had a huge thing at their concert? Was this Travis Scott? Where he had to testify? Y'all let me know. Was that Travis Scott? I think it was Travis Scott, where he had some kind of outdoor festival or something, and a bunch of people got hurt, and he had to testify, and they had to settle and pay a bunch of money. I think it was Travis Scott. Yes, Travis Scott. Yeah. And I thought about that today, and I was like, was that Travis Scott? Yes. And he had to testify, and he had to pay money, and there was lawsuits, and it went on and on and on for like a whole year or two with the lawsuits. So this is not something that Stray Kids needs. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's their management team and the people who organize the concert organizers and promoters are supposed to understand what's going on. And then on top of that, the audience and the fans, the stays, you have to take care of yourself. You know, in that situation. But I don't know from what people were saying on here and from what I read online, that stadium is notorious for having issues. So maybe just don't go back to that stadium, or don't do outdoor type venues. Because again, the heat in Korea is not the heat here. It is hotter here in America in a lot of places than in Korea. Like Korea, y'all think y'all have summers. Come to Texas, you'll be ready to leave. You'll be like, the moment you step off the plane, it feels like you're in an oven in Texas. It feels like you can't breathe. It's so humid here. Nobody goes outside during the daytime because you will go outside and pop out and sweat. Like, that's how bad it is in Texas. So nobody goes out during the daytime because, it's just hot, y'all. It's hot. It's hot, especially around peak summertime. This is terrible weather here. It's hot. It's just hot. It doesn't rain here. Hopefully Gen Tour goes smooth. In Dallas it will, because it's at American Airlines Center. American Airlines Center is very nice, cool, air conditioning, very nice, very, very nice place. So also Jen's tour is coming, and I'm going to vlog it. I'm very interested to see and we're going to talk about Jen's tour towards the end. I'm very anxious to see what else happened in K-pop this week. NewJeans. So NewJeans, apparently Danielle went to this Omega Watch event, approved by Adore. Adore's staff was there. From what I read in Korea, Adore's staff was very awkward. It was very awkward as fuck. Danielle was there. Danielle was there with a wig on. She had wore, I guess, to pay homage to Anna Wintour. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what she was doing. If you watch Soul Light TV, he did a whole video that just came out today about NewJeans. But Danielle was there, and it was very awkward. And she had a blonde wig on. I don't know if she stole it from RM. I don't know if Minhee Jin stole it from RM. I don't know, but it kind of looked like the blonde wig that RM wore in his video. It kind of looked like that. It was like that. It was like that. But she was there, and it was for the Omega Watch because she's still a spokesperson. I also heard with NewJeans that other people have dropped, or not, I wouldn't say dropped, but they haven't re-signed with NewJeans because of the issues that are going on, which, that's just, that's just normal. That they would want to, that they would want to jump ship. So that happened. And then another member of NewJeans, I don't know her name. It starts with an M. Minji. I don't know her. I don't know the members of NewJeans. But one of them also was at a Chanel. She did a Chanel event as well. Again, they're contractually obligated to do these events. And once again, it was awkward as fuck. It was very, 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 very awkward. I saw the videos of her up there with Chanel, and it was just like, it was kind of awkward. Like, it was kind of awkward. She looked great, but it was just kind of awkward. So they did events, Adore sanctioned events, so they won't get fined. And then also with NewJeans, they dropped they were filing another appeal about their injunction, and apparently they dropped it. So I don't know. A lot of legal people are like, well, what does this mean? And I'm like, I I have no idea what this means. I don't know if this means they're going to drop the whole case. And so that's something that we need to talk about. So what do y'all think if they I said I'd be damned if I wake up in the morning and find out that Adore, I mean that NewJeans have decided to drop the case. That would shock me to my core. Like it would shock me. JK said even if they return to HYBE, it will be awkward. And with other groups like Illid, yeah, and La Seraphim, like what are they gonna say to them? What are they gonna be in the hallway and be like, hey ladies, hey. Okay. Well, I would love to be there to look at that conversation. Just like, y'all gonna I mean, what can they say? NewJeans have burned so many bridges with HYBE. Like, what can you really say? I mean, like, they hitched their wagon to Minhee Jin. Minhee Jin got her own legal case and her own battles, and somehow this was all about Minhee Jin, and Minhee Jin then got ghost. Like everybody's like, where Minhee Jin at? We ain't seen her. We looking high, we looking low. Minhee Jin is all of a sudden like out of it. She's just like, well, you know, hey, I'm gonna back away from that real quick. Y'all let me know how it works out for you girls. Like I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but apparently it just seems like Minhee Jin has left the chat. Like she just like, I'm out. And so she ain't said nothing about NewJeans, about them being her daughters or what. None of that. It's just kind of like she just kind of faded in the background now. They be like, greet me properly, otherwise another lawsuit is coming. Right. You better say hi to me in that elevator, in that hallway. When we go to that HYBE cafeteria, Illit, you better say something to me. I'm like, people are speculating, like, are they going to drop the lawsuit? But how what are they gonna do? Go back and they're gonna have a press conference and apologize and be like, well, we're sorry and we've reflected on what we've done and our bad. We're back, let's go make an album, everybody. Come on, yay, Team Adore. I mean, I don't see how they can ever just go back and return to Adore with the things that they've said in the media and the things that they've proposed in the lawsuit about them not being happy and about Adore treating them bad. So you just gonna run back to them? Like I don't see that happen. But some people think that that's what's gonna happen, that they're gonna eventually just drop the lawsuit and just run back to the company. But I just again, in my opinion, I may be wrong. I just don't see that happening. I think that they've thoroughly burned their bridges, set them on fire. They've blown the bridges up, just like they've obliterated the bridge. And then on top of that, if they go back to Adore, then what's gonna happen with Minhee Jin? Like, yeah, just like Minhee Jin is like, okay, moved on, like I'm out of here. And so I just don't see how they could just go back and just pretend like everything would just be awkward. And then on top of that, you couldn't really trust NewJeans again. Like, how are you gonna be trusting NewJeans to act right when at any moment they could get mad at something and then be like, oh, we don't like this contract again now. Like, I just don't see, how that would happen. But like I said, stranger things have happened. I never say never when it comes to NewJeans, because there's a lot of things that have happened in the whole year or so, year and a half, that I never think would happen. But I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is happening. So don't be surprised if NewJeans are standing up there at a press conference reading a letter and thanking and then what about their fans? All the shenanigans and all the trouble that their fans have done online. So how are they gonna explain to their fans? Like, oh, go make nice, go make nice with armies, go make nice with the Illit, go make nice with the Fear Nots now? How that's gonna work for the fandom? Like, the bunnies are like so reviled and hated in K-pop that it like how can the fans go back and just we're all friends now? Yeah, hey, I've always liked Illid and La Seraphim. Like, how are the bunnies going to just go back to normal and just like, yay, NewJeans? Like, no. You and your group have burned bridges in the fandom, in the industry. So it's like, how can they're at the point of no return, right now. They are at the point of no return. Because again, their fandom and NewJeans is not wanted. They are not wanted. They're not wanted at HYBE. They're not wanted at Adore. They're not wanted. The only thing Adore has to do, they've invested so much money, so they do want NewJeans back. But on a social level and on a mental level, nobody wants to F with NewJeans. Nobody cares about NewJeans. Like nobody trusts them. I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't, as far as I can pick them up and throw these ladies, I would not trust them. So I don't know how this is going to end. This is like some really weird corporate entertainment K-drama. Like, this is better than any K-drama anybody could ever think of. I've always said that. And so I just don't see how it's in. But I guess we just got to stay tuned and just wait to see we just got to see what's going to happen. Talking about, Zakiria says, do I like K-pop? I have a whole K-pop channel, honey. So I'm mostly ARMY. I don't like girl groups, though. Girl groups do nothing for me. So that was the NewJeans. Park Eunice says, yeah, BTS. So that's the NewJeans. Oh, JK says she'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. So that is the NewJeans news. What's happened. There still is the controversy with the member of the boys, but I won't get into that too much. I got into that during my last live stream. So yeah, so we've talked about BTS. We've talked about what the BTS members are doing. We talked about the Stray Kids concert and that sad thing. And then we talked about NewJeans. And I'm trying to think, am I missing anything else? I don't think. Oh yeah, I am missing something. Hold on, y'all. There is a member of formerly of a boy band. I'm going to look it up because I have to look up his name, y'all. Because I saw this story and it goes into what I've said if you've been in my previous live stream, you will see he used to be in a boy band, but I'm looking it up right now. I've talked about how blackmailing is really big in the K entertainment industry. But this story recently, there is a singer by the name of Kim Jun-soo. Kim Jun-soo. The court 2 days ago finalized a 7-year sentence for a streamer who was extorting him out of $618,000 USD. That's what it equals up to. From the singer over a period of 5 years. I told y'all in my live streams many times that blackmail is huge in the entertainment industry, period. But in Korea, it's just tragic because the artists are beholden to their reputations, right? So you could be dating someone or talking to someone or casually friends with somebody, even relatives could come and try to blackmail you. Friends, family, people will try to blackmail you, okay? So this particular singer, he is a former member of a K-pop group called, TVXQ. Okay, I know who TVXQ is. They're a very popular group. This person was blackmailing him. She got sentenced 7 years. The woman is in her 30s. She is a violation of the Act on Aggravated Punishment of Specific Economic Crimes, according to the legal community. The streamer was indicted and detained, and she blackmailed him a total of 101 times between September 20th of September 2020 and October 2024. So she blackmailed this dude for 4 years. Okay. She threatened to release private conversations she had secretly recorded with Kim on social media. Okay. And you're probably wondering, what? Like this case sounded crazy because I'm like, he was talking to somebody on social media. He's saying that she told him that she was a nail technician, that she did nails, and that he didn't know that she was a streamer, apparently, allegedly. I'm trying to see how they met, because it was real weird how they met. Like they met online, like he messaged her online, And this guy is one of the biggest I've learned in Korea, one of the biggest OG idols. TVXQ is was a very popular group. They're a legendary group up there with like Big Bang and 21 and stuff like that. Um, so this was a made the news. It was a big deal. She had been on a live streaming platform called Soup. It was formerly known as Africa TV. I've heard of Africa TV. I've told y'all there are a lot of AV models. There are a lot of streamers that get paid on the Soup in Africa. Let me see. And so I'm trying to read. I read on a platform. And so he released a statement to fans saying that he was harassed for 5 years and he couldn't take it anymore. He says he had nothing to be ashamed of and he had nothing to that he's done nothing wrong. This particular member of TVXQ, Kim Jong-soo, he is also on Broadway. He is in South Korea's version of Aladdin. He's a well-known stage singer now. So he went from being a K-pop boy band, TVXQ, to a legendary boy band, to a really good famous stage singer. So he's an actor and a singer on stage. So he's been doing this for years. He's in Aladdin. Aladdin is sold out. It's been sold out in South Korea. And so that's what happened to him. And I think I read somewhere about how they met, that he started talking to her online. Now, we don't know what messages they sent back and forth to each other. So we just don't know because, of course, the courts are not going to release the messages because that's his private business. However, for somebody to blackmail somebody for about 5 years, I'm really curious about what's in those messages. And I understand he says there's nothing, but it's stuff that he said privately that may particularly ruin his reputation. It may not be anything bad, but in Korea, you breathe wrong and it'll ruin your reputation. So I don't know what he said to this woman, but the whole thing just sounds a little, I'm like, okay. It sounds a little sketch to me anyway, like to be honest with y'all. The whole thing just sounds a little sketch. I'm just going to be honest. How he started talking to this lady, she's on the Soup, she's a streamer. He's saying that he didn't know she was a streamer. He said he met her. I think he said he met her on Instagram or something like that. Why, as a famous K-pop star, you would start talking to somebody online? I've told y'all before in other live streams, y'all would be surprised how K-pop singers have hooked up with people. I've heard things, not a secret, not like I'm making things up. I don't know from personal experience. I've never been with a K-pop singer or anything like that. But I've heard things and read things online and offline that K-pop singers has sent people DMs. Like, I've heard this, that they have sent people, they have found women on the internet that they thought was cute, and they DM'd them and like, hey, how you doing? My name is such and such, which I'm sure at first you're like, this got to be fake. But it turned out to be really them. So I've heard of K-pop singers hooking up with fans, or K-pop singers hooking up with streamers or influencers online, or getting their telephone numbers or sending them messages, or having their management reach out to them. So these are the things that I've heard. Not everybody, but I when I first heard this, I was dumbfounded. I was like, surely this is a lie. But then other people started saying it. When JK sent that one girl a DM and she exposed it and ruined her chance, look, Camilla Tia, girl, you had to spill some tea up in here. I've never heard that JK sent a girl a DM, but I don't know much about that. I had to go, girl, are you serious? See, I tell y'all don't believe it. Y'all don't believe it, but they do. Like I said, when I heard somebody say that, I thought they had lost their mind. I was like, no, what? Oh, you never heard about that? You know what? I don't not believe it. Because I haven't heard of BTS doing things like this, but I've heard people anonymously saying, oh, this one K-pop singer sent me a DM, and they were an influencer, and they were an Instagram model or an influencer or something like that. I have heard of these celebrities going to different cities, mostly in Korea, and hooking up with fans. I've said this before in my live stream. And again, I thought this person was lying, but then I went and looked it up, and other people have reported this on the internet. And there's even videos you can find on YouTube where people who have been trainees or who have dated idols will tell you stories anonymously about idols that they've known that have hooked up with fans. From fan meets. I heard people that have hooked up with fans from fan meets. I ain't saying no names, y'all. I'm not saying any names. Now that one I do know some names. But I have heard about certain K-pop idols, and I won't say their names, that have hooked up with with fans and like been intimate with them or sent them DMs. And of course, as a fan, you're not gonna say nothing. Like, I know I wouldn't say anything, but I've heard stuff like that. And so when this particular member of TVXQ went online and started talking to somebody, I'm like, oh, you just asking for crazy. Because you don't, and then apparently he talked to her for a while before she started blackmailing him. But this is the thing that will get you caught up, though. So I mean, for him to be as successful as he is, attractive as he is, the fact that he went online and started talking to some chick is just weird to me. I mean, it's just weird. Yeah, when this happens, like I really never heard about this. Yeah, the member Kim Jun Sun is a former member of TVXQ, and he's a big time stage and theater singer now. And he was blackmailed for 5 years, and this chick just got sentenced to 7 years in prison. He was blackmailed out of over $600,000 USD for over 5 years. Well, I mean, a little bit less than 5 years. So in 2020, I guess it was the pandemic. Like, it was okay. In my mind, in my head canon, I'm like, it's September. It was 2020. It was a pandemic. Again, another thing I heard, let me add a little caveat to that. I heard during the pandemic that a lot of this went on. Child, you didn't hear it from me, but I heard during the pandemic, baby, when them K-pop singers and them entertainers were sitting at home bored and nothing better to do, and a lot of people were online during the pandemic, baby, I heard that they was DMing women, they was going to streamers, influencers, AV models, that these dudes was online talking to people. So when I read that story about the member of TVXQ, I put two and two together and it made sense. It was September 2020. It was in the middle of the pandemic. He was probably sitting at home late at night, bored, scrolling, was like, oh, she cute, and sent her a message. Now, as to what those messages said, baby, I would give anything to see what those messages. It had to be something bad enough to where somebody's going to blackmail you for 5 years. Like, it had to be something like that they were talking probably about sex and stuff like that. Because you don't talk to some girl online and just like, hey, how you doing? What, show me a picture of your food. What did you have for dinner today? Have you eaten today? That one, nobody's gonna blackmail somebody about conversations about breakfast and food and where'd you go shopping today. They had to be talking about some probably some kinky freaky stuff. Or at least not very kinky freaky, but at least something that would be inappropriate for his reputation, even though he's a grown man and she's a grown woman. But in Korea, that's how you get caught up in these. That's how insane it is in Korea. That's how crazy it is. Somebody went viral. Did it go viral, the JK thing? Where? Because I've never seen that. I have to look that up, Alice. I'm with you, baby. I have to go looking. I have to go look in the Korean vlogs because things pop up in the Korean vlogs, that y'all be like, so yeah. So this guy, I don't know what was in those messages, but it was worth $600,000. I don't know. Like I don't know how he lasted that long. Because that must have been very stressful. That must have been very nerve-wracking, knowing that anytime somebody could drop the dime on you, and then she could have sold the messages to dispatch. I mean, anything could happen. I mean, every man I meet on the internet, they eventually talk about this. JK said eventually they do. That's what I said. I don't think he was talking to her about like, how's your parents and, how's your job? Like, I don't think he was talking to her about that. I think he was talking about some kinky freaky. Kinky freaky. Because for him to pay that much money over 4 or 5 years, oh yeah. It even though he tried to get online and tell his fans, oh, it was nothing bad. It was nothing that bad. Yeah, you was talking about stuff that if those messages would be released, he would have gotten in trouble. His reputation would have been damaged. And then, like I said, it's sad because they're both adults. So I mean, the fact that his reputation would be ruined over him talking about adult stuff with an adult woman is just how silly Korea is. You know, it's just how silly it is. So that story, I definitely had to bring that up because that gets on to Suga. So now we're gonna get into Suga. Oh man, oh man. First of all, before I get into the Suga story, let me say a few things for those of you who've never been to my live stream who don't know who I am. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I also have a Wattpad where I write fan fiction. It's Nomadic Kitty FF on Wattpad. Check me out there. My channel, I do shorts, I do videos, I do live streams. Of course, I do a weekly live stream on the weekends. So here we are. On my channel, I have grown folks conversations. So before I get into this conversation, let me just do my PSA. Here we have grown people conversation. If you haven't noticed, I'm a grown person. I'm a grown ass woman, okay? I am old enough to be BTS members' mama. All of them. All of them, okay? Yeah, all of them. So I'm grown. BTS are grown men. They've been in the military. They're in their late 20s, early 30s for most of them. They're grown adults. I do not look upon BTS and treat BTS like they're fragile man children. I don't think they're prepubescent teenagers. I understand that BTS has been in the business 13 years plus, some of them. I understand that in order for them to get to the level that they've gotten to, they've had to have blood, sweat, and tears. They've had to work hard. They have seen things and heard things and done things that we are not ever going to know about. Maybe one day we might know about a little fraction of it. BTS have been done dirty that we know of, We know if you're Army, y'all know better than me. Y'all been Army longer than me. I've only been Army less than a year. Y'all know that BTS have been done dirty. Y'all know that they have done concerts, variety shows where they've been picked on, done dirty, had the lights turned off on one shows. And y'all know a bunch of things throughout the years that BTS has went through a lot of stress and a lot of strife from coming from a small company like Big Hit, rising all the way to the upper echelons of pop. Okay, so y'all know better than me what BTS has been through. You don't be in this business in the entertainment industry being a snowflake. That just doesn't happen. The problems I have with a lot of the fandom is they treat BTS with these kid gloves like they're children. They're not children. BTS understands on some level what is said about them online. They don't care. They've said in many different interviews, they don't care about the haters. I think RM said, fuck the haters. They don't really care. They understand that in this business, inside and outside the business, you are going to have people that are going to hate you. They understand that they're going to have anti-fans and all of that kind of stuff. So don't y'all ever think that BTS are not grown men, that they are grown, adult, intelligent, talented, very intelligent, very business savvy, most of them intelligent man. If BTS start to taking names, many people can get canceled. Right. If BTS would spill the beans about all the things that they've seen in the industry with other idols and management and other talent, baby, and they would ruin the whole industry. And a lot of K-pop singers, they know what goes on in the industry and they keep it shut because that's their livelihood. So BTS has been through a lot, seen a lot, perhaps more than some other idols, just because they've been in the business all of these years. And again, there's not many K-pop groups. I can't think of any K-pop group that has been in the business this heavily and successfully and long as BTS. BTS has done the unthinkable. Let me also say that in my mind, BTS is not a K-pop group. BTS are global celebrities. I treat BTS and deal with BTS in my mind like they're celebrities. BTS is not a K-pop group. All those rules that you guys have in K-pop fandoms for K-pop groups, that's cute. That's nice. But BTS has transcended all that. BTS are global celebrities. BTS to me is up there with Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar. BTS are celebrities. So things happen so they're based in Korea, and they have a whole different list of anxieties and worries with them being based in Korea and have to live and act in Korean society. So yes, it is different than them being a westernized artist. But, so they have a bunch of scrutiny. But BTS are adults, okay? So with that said, Suga, if you do not know, Suga is a member of BTS. He's one of the founding members of BTS. Last year, August 6, 2024, right around the time I became Army, Suga had an incident on a scooter. He was at a bar or a restaurant, allegedly. He hopped on his scooter because, of course, he thought it was safer. I don't think he really realized it was against the law. And in South Korea, it's against the law for you to get on a scooter while drunk. He drove from the restaurant and bar right around the corner. It looks like it was right around the corner from his apartment complex where he lives. His scooter, he looks like he turned the corner too abruptly. He dumped over for a second. He fell off his scooter, he popped up. And apparently on this street, there are police officers that are patrolling the street. And they went over to him like, hey, are you okay? And Suga was like, I'm fine. But apparently they smelled breath. They smelled alcohol on his breath. So they did a breathalyzer, took him down to the station and realized that he was Min Yoongi of BTS. Yeah, and the rest is history. Okay. Suga has faced nothing but backlash since then. He's apologized over and over again. He got his license revoked. He had a $17,000 USD in USD dollar fine, and he laid low ever since then. People released a fake scooter video. People talked about his reputation. All these things he's laid low. He's, of course, while he was in the military. So there you go. So Suga gets out the military June 21st, and then he reveals a couple of days later that while he was in the military on the weekends, he was going to this hospital and volunteering his time with children who are autistic. So he was playing music for them. He would show up every weekend. They said he was never late. He showed up every weekend. He played music for these kids, and he worked with these doctors and experts in autism and cognitive development to see how music can improve communication in autistic children. So him and his doctor worked together to come up with a program where they're using music to reach autistic children. When and autism is a spectrum. If you don't know, I don't know a lot about autism, just enough. Autism is a spectrum. So some kids are lower on the spectrum. They are pretty functional, and some kids are high on the spectrum where they aren't very verbal, or it's hard for them to be very verbal, from what I've learned. And so Suga has come out with a statement, and they came out with a statement saying Suga's donated $3.6 million USD. He's going to have his own program called Mind, MIND, and that he is actually working towards a certificate also in child development and stuff like that. So that's the gist of it. So when this came out, it hit the news media outlets. There's videos you can watch on YouTube. YouTubers did videos. It's things that it hit the Korean news, and people were like, they had videos, they had pictures showing Suga with the kids. He looked really cute in his little beanie, and he was playing guitar with them. He looked so happy. He had such a big, bright smile on his face, like he really enjoyed what he was doing, working with the children. Ken called him men Suga teacher men. Yes. JK said that where she's at, they're a big name. People here don't know about K-pop, but they know about BTS. Same thing in America. People don't know about K-pop, but they know about BTS. So it was so cute and heartwarming to see pictures of him with the kids. And he kept all this a secret. There were rumors going around. I said it in the live stream around December. I did it in a live stream, and I said, I heard that Suga was working with disabled children. He was working with children and disabled vets in some sort of capacity. That's what I said, what I heard in these Korean streets. So this made the news. Like I said, fans and armies were delighted. Suga is my bias, y'all. Suga is my ult. Don't nobody get on my channel and come for me. Suga is my ult, honey. My ult. My ultimate bias. Out of all of entertainment, if anybody know my channel, this is a Suga safe space. I am a Suga super fan, okay? I love Suga. Suga is my ult. Suga is my bias. So this for people getting it twisted. So all this came out. My heart was warm. I mean, my legs had a divorce. Infer what you will, because to me, there's nothing more sexy than a man who gives to his community. There's nothing sexy than a man who works with people who are underprivileged or struggling. To me, that is so attractive and sexy. That's husband material. That's boyfriend material. That's husband material to me. So anytime anybody is volunteering their time with children, animals, or old people, hey, my legs are going to part like the Red Sea. So I was like, oh, Sugar. So after it happened, I was like, you know what? This whole comeback thing may just be good. Like we're gonna do it. I'm like, I told my sister-in-law, because it was around my birthday when Sugar got out the military and all this dropped. I was all excited. I was like, yes, Lord, Sugar's up here doing the Lord's work. Because he could have donated, but he didn't have to donate $3.6 million. That's a lot of money. I've never known. And then on top of that, let me just go back and give y'all some basis. Sugar has donated before. Sugar is the most philanthropic person in BTS. He has donated to COVID. He has donated in his hometown. He has donated to kids in Syria when they had the earthquake in Syria. Sugar has donated. So he has donated, he has donated, he has donated. He donated when they had the fires in South Korea. He donated when they had that bad airplane crash. Sugar has quietly donated to other causes that we may not know about. So Sugar it's not like this is new for him. Obviously, he does care about his community and care about causes. Sugar has donated to Black Lives Matter. I can say that. It's not a secret. But so this is not anything new. So I'm thinking he did something good. And of course, me being grown, I'm a business person. I'm a grown person. I know about the industry. I said that PR wise, this is a good look as well. So not only did he donate and do a good thing and leaving something for his legacy, the other part of it is it's a good look PR wise. I'm not going to sit up here and deny that, but I left it as that. And I was like, maybe, Sugar can come back. JK said he said years ago that he wants to help people who are suffering from mental health. He did, and he did what he said. Sugar said that as a child, he has said in his music, in his interviews, that he was a misunderstood kid, that he had cognitive, some sort of issues that he hasn't elaborated, but he talks about his parents taking him to a mental hospital. He talks about trying to unalive himself. He talks about taking pills. He talks about him suffering from crippling anxiety, that his anxiety gets triggered, which most people who have some type of anxiety disorder or neurodivergence, they get triggered. Again, I know a little bit about these things, but I'm not a doctor. I haven't worked with anybody, anything like that. I'm not neurodivergent. I suffer from a different kind. I'm shy and I have social anxieties, but not anxieties like that. But Sugar's saying that he also went to school with somebody that he thought was apparently cognitively behind or autistic. So he's come out and said that in his statements when they were doing a whole video about the program, and it's called Severance Hospital. They even have a thing where armies said they wanted to donate. So armies are like, we want to donate, and then HYBE, HYBE, put a thing in his post where they had the links where you can do donations and get more information about how you want to donate. Everything is all good. Anytime you work with children, it is always good. It's nothing bad. It's Autism Month. June is Autism Month. I didn't know that. Wonderful. Child, I'm out here living my best life. I'm strolling through YouTube the other day. I'm like, and then somebody tell my Sugar Backlash. I said, Sugar what? I said, Backlash about what? I said, Sugar did something else. Now he didn't got drunk again. So I watched the YouTube video. So I'm watching the YouTube video and I'm like, what's she talking about? I forgot which YouTuber because it popped up in my recommends. And then she was talking about the Sugar thing. She was leading it up. And then she talked about, there's backlash about Sugar donating to the hospital. So I was like, okay. So you know what? I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my laptop. Because I was like, people on YouTube be making up all kinds of shit. So I went in and I went to the Korea boards. Now, let me tell y'all something before I get into something. The information that I found out about BTS is through Korea. I don't go to X. I don't go to Instagram. Y'all will never see me up on X and Instagram and scrolling through TikTok. I don't. The information that I give you guys is either information I know because I know two people that work in the business, so I kind of hear things, but I don't tell y'all everything that I hear, but I go to the source because where these outlets are getting it from, they're getting it from Korea. So I pull up in Korea, if you don't know, they have a website called Naver, which is like the Google of Korea. If you go to Naver, it'll pull up a whole search engine like Google, but it's all in Korean. Now you can try to get it translated through Google Translator, but it's a little bit wonky and it's just things sound a bit off. So the best thing to do is to get somebody in Korea. I know people in Korea that I'll be like, here's his website. Can you go and I'm telling you where to go. Tell me what they're saying. So I have people who look at stuff that's in Korea because I don't want nobody else translated. I want it straight from the horse's mouth. There are K-pop message boards that have been around since the 90s that are heavily trafficked by K-pop fans in Korea. This is where all the gossip comes from. This is where all the juicy. Oh, you're in Korea? Do you know about the Korean message boards? the DC cafes and Duan. There's a bunch of them that I go and start looking. Okay, so I had Koreans go and look at this message board. Tell me what they're saying, or go on these comment sections in like Korea Times, Korea Now, and tell me what they're saying. I want to know what the people are saying in the comment sections. So it wasn't the media that was trashing Korea. It was the people. So let me say it again for the people in the back. Stray Kids, y'all cool? Stray Kids is cool. What you, Sugar, you all right back there? Sugar, all right. He hanging on back here, girl. He hanging on, girl. So I go and I'm like, I want to know what the people are saying. The media was very favorable in Korea and the West. But when I looked in the comment sections, I'm like, people are translating things. And so a lot of the comments are like, oh, he did a good deed, I'm like, all right, Korea, come on, toot. Come on, Korea, come on. Then 40% of the comments are like, this is a PR stunt. Am I Army? Yes. Do I like Big Bang? I'm not a Big Bang fan. I mean, I like them, yes. Don't get me wrong. I like T.O.P. Not because of Squid Game, but because I like rap. And I love G-Dragon. Love G-Dragon's new album is real good. I love G-Dragon. He's quirky and weird enough, just enough for me. But yes, I am Army. My whole channel's Army. So I'm like, I'm reading the comments because I want to know what Koreans think. They was like, oh. And if you subscribe to my channel in my posts, you will see where I've copied and translated and pasted some of the comments I was reading. T.O.P. is your crush. I love T.O.P. T.O.P. is a very good looking guy. Very sexy. They drugged T.O.P. for Squid Game. I told y'all they was dragging T.O.P. for filth online in Korea. So I went and looked at the comments, had them translated, and I even put copies of the comments on my post on this channel because I wanted people to understand this is what I'm saying. I'm not making this up. I'm not making shit up. So in Korea Boo and other websites that are English language Korean sites, they started posting. They started picking up on this story. But they said, but their angle was the fans are divided over what Suga did. I even put links and I copied and screenshotted what people were saying. I screenshotted these websites so y'all could see that they were saying, oh, the fandom is divided. I said, what? The fandom isn't divided. The public is divided. I doubt these people who are criticizing Suga were really fans. Are they really fans? No. So the things that they were saying in his comments, just in case you didn't know, they were like, it's a PR stunt. He's trying to buy his way back. Oh, it must be really nice to buy your reputation back. And the other one that killed me, Lord have mercy, the other one that got me in the neck, he hasn't reflected long enough. It hasn't even been a year yet. Suga hasn't reflected long enough. It hasn't been that long enough for, okay, so how long is he supposed to reflect? How long is he supposed to stay hidden? He just got, that's the things that people were saying. So I'm reading the comment section. I'm like, no. I said, these people are not, then some people were, oh, wait, y'all, gets better. Then a lot of the comments were like, he donated $3.6 million. Well, how much money does he really have? Are you kidding? Are you serious right now? If he could donate all that money, well, how much money does he really have? Can we get out this man's pockets? It doesn't matter how much money he has. I'm like, are y'all serious right now? He did something good, and y'all, I can understand the people saying it might be a PR stunt. But the idea that, like, why is he? I've read comments over and over again. People like, why is he volunteering? He seems like he had a lot of time on his hands. Wasn't he supposed to be in the military? Then some people were like, well, how do we even know he even volunteered that long? How do we know that the hospital, they're exaggerating, and maybe he wasn't there every weekend? Not one comment, but comment after comment after comment. Then some people are like, oh, he did do a good thing, but this doesn't redeem him. He's still got a long way to go. Y'all, I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Haters gonna hate, people gonna judge. I was over it. I was like, you know what? These K-pop idols and these companies give too much power to those netizens. Way too much. It takes just one idol to do whatever the hell they want to do, and they'll all sit down and shut up. Why do they care so much? I don't know. Why do they care about how much money Suga making? They was pocket checking Suga. They was pocket checking him. Well, he seems like he got a lot of money to spend, and he's giving money to children. So why would... The sentiment is they didn't feel like Suga had lost enough money. I kind of read between the lines, and I asked somebody in Korea, I'm like, tell me what this really means. Tell me. I'm like, read this and tell me what it really means. Read between the lines. Because in Korea, you got to read between the lines, okay? Like, you got to read between the lines. And then my friend was like, I know what that means. I said, what do that mean? What do that mean? And they were like, well, they just feel like Suga makes too much money and that, like, he must still be wealthy, and he hasn't lost enough of his income in order to really be humbled by this. When this dude told me that, I never thought of it that way. But that's what he was saying. That's what they're saying. A lot of them were like, Suga hasn't been humbled enough. And then he doesn't seem like he had a lot of time to reflect. We don't know what's in Suga's heart. I'm like, okay, so he's supposed to sit at home and be depressed and sit in his house and be like, I'm reflecting, and not sit at home on the weekends and not do anything. Well, it seems like Suga had too much time on his hands. Are you effing serious? So I was like, you know what? My sister-in-law was like, get off the comment boards, because I'm over here like, yeah. I'm over here like, mother, yeah, I'm cussing, I'm dog cussing people. Like, I'm not cussing them out online. I'm just reading and cussing. I'm getting angry. I'm like, okay, Keisha, you know what? I'm like, you know what, girl, I'm going to let it be. Suga did his good deed. He was looking cute. He was up there looking real, real cute, girl. He was looking real cute. He's playing the guitar looking real cute. Suga's fit. He's thin. He cute. I said he donated. He did a good thing. You know, I'm going to leave these people alone. Bam, the next day, somebody sent me a message. They're like, girl. I said, what? They're like, girl, should we tell you? Tell me what, girl? What you talking about? Here's an article from Korea Times. I said, oh, no. Concerned citizens have signed a petition to get Suga banned from KBS. I flatlined. I was like, what? I had to read the article over and over again. Then I went to other sources and read the article over and over again. I said, are you fucking kidding me? So no, it's not the media that is doing Suga in, because y'all know I hate the Korean media. These people submitted a petition to KBS, and also there's like an entertainment board in Korea to get Suga banned from performing on KBS. Which KBS is, like, if you don't know, is the Korean broadcasting system. It's like the biggest, like, state-run broadcasting where all the shows and awards and stuff like that. Okay. I said, well, why are they doing this? They were like, oh, this, because we're trying to let people bring awareness to DUIs. And we just feel we don't want the public to feel that DUIs are not serious, and that people should take it seriously, and there should be consequences to your DUI, right? Okay, so I'm like, that is a bizarre stance to take, but okay, drinking, Korea has a heavy drinking culture. DUIs are very serious. Yes. Suga didn't run over nobody, didn't hurt nobody. He apologized. He admitted his guilt. It's not like he tried to lie out of it or anything like that. Number one. Number two, how long is he supposed to be reflecting about this? How long is he supposed to put his career on hold and lose money because of a mistake that he made that he admitted to? How long is he supposed to suffer? He's supposed to be in social hell and social jail until people decide when. Never? Because ask T.O.P., because T.O.P. was in Squid Game too, if y'all don't know, and he was catching hell in Korea. So everybody loved Thanos here, but when I went on the Korean sites, they was like, oh, his performance is over the top. Oh, his performance is too much. Don't you think it's too much? I'm like, I'm a Westerner. No. Then they started saying that T.O.P. was being very popular in the West and people were making memes and games, and then they were like, he's an embarrassment. People were saying that T.O.P. was an embarrassment online in Korea. Here in American international spaces, y'all was loving him. I was loving him. But I was amazed that in Korea, people still were upset over what he had done like 9 years ago, a marijuana charge. That's what they was mad about still. Talking about they acted like he killed 5 people. Right. Nobody got hurt. He had his helmet on. He was driving like a little grandpa. Just he driving like a little grandpa. He was so cute. Yeah, they keep going over this over and over again. So again, I told y'all months ago, international armies, get ready. Because I said Korea has not let this go. Now, I didn't think somebody would go as far as fill out a petition. Like, I didn't think anybody would go that far. Like, I didn't think anybody, but I was like, why do I underestimate Korea? Like, it just when I'm thinking, sure, like I knew he was going to get hate. I know he was going to get dragged online if he came out of, out in the public. I expected that. It annoyed me and frustrated me a little bit, but I expected. But I didn't expect people was like, we want him banned from KBS to bring awareness to DUIs and that there's real consequences. So you mean to tell me if I go out after work and I drive my scooter and I have a DUI and the police revoke my license and give me a fine, you mean that I deserve to lose my job, even though it has nothing to do with that I deserve to be set up in the house all day, that if I go out in public, people should be snickering at me for the next 2-3 years because I drove my scooter down the street drunk and I didn't hurt nobody. So in my life, I'm supposed to still face consequences, even though the law is what it is. But I'm still supposed to be facing consequences, even years later. I'm supposed to lose my livelihood. I'm supposed to be depressed in the house. I'm supposed to just be a total pariah because of a mistake that I made. When normal people, this doesn't happen to normal people. Normal people have a DUI and they pay their fine. They may go to jail that night and they just go back to their lives and move on. But Suga's not allowed to go back to his life and move on because he's a celebrity. He's an idol. So he's supposed to be perfect. And that's crazy. That's just nuts to me. Out of all the things that Suga has done for his country, and the things that he's done artistically, how much revenue BTS has brought into this country, they are still treated like this. Like I said, I wasn't surprised, but the petition thing got me crazy. But my question is, number one, if y'all wanted to bring social awareness to DUIs, why not after the Suga thing, y'all create an organization or a group or a Twitter group or Reddit group or organization group, something in your communities to bring awareness about DUIs? Why would you wait till Suga get out of the military? Why would you wait till he get out the military after he announced this thing? Why would you wait till the next day and be like, we need to file a petition? If they were that pressed about DUIs, which is a serious topic, why didn't y'all start a DUI foundation or organization to bring awareness last year after this happened? No, y'all wait till you get out the military and it's like, well, we're just trying to bring awareness. That's a lie. That is a lie. That is a front for whatever that I won't divulge into conspiracy. But that is a lie. Y'all are not trying to bring awareness to DUIs and the consequences. If you're worried about that, you've had almost a whole damn year to do that. Why would you wait till now to do it? Why would you wait till you get out the military and be like, okay, this is a setup, y'all. This is a set up. They're using him as a scapegoat. They need to go touch some grass. Yes, they're using Suga as a scapegoat. So, again, I won't divulge into conspiracy because some people have already done that. Some people think that this is set up, that this is orchestrated, that is set up by forces bigger than that. The things in the comment section that I've read over and over again, obviously there's several narratives out there because I'm reading the comment sections and different things, and it sounds like the same comments over and over again. So y'all know I'm always suspicious when I go to the comment sections in Korea and I start reading the same narratives over and over and over and over again. Oh, this is a PR stunt. Okay. 10 people have said this. Oh, that's a PR stunt. Oh, he's trying to buy his way back into the public. Okay. I've heard the same comments here, here, and here. So you can't tell me that's just a coincidence. I'm reading the same types of comments, almost word for word, in several different places. I'm like, that's odd. Coincidence? Y'all tell me. The same talking points in different places about Suga. How much money does he have? About it's a PR stunt that Suga's trying to buy his way back into the public. About him lying about him. Was he really volunteering? Calling that into question. And also the other one, people are saying that they're going to protest Suga. They're like, if he started doing he shouldn't be allowed to do promotions. Why am I hearing this over and over again in the comments? Why am I hearing the same comments, the same 4 or 5 talking points in every comment section? Why are y'all, a bunch of y'all are saying the same thing? Different accounts, different places, same thing. Then people are saying, yes, I'm telling you, armies. They are saying if Suga come out and do promotions, we're going to boycott it. I said, what? I said, say it with your whole chest, Korea. And I saw this over and over again. Well, if he comes out and tries to do, we're going to boycott. We're going to ban. We're going to boycott. We're going to ban. Really? Really? Huh. Yeah. Okay. They're going to boycott. They're going to ban. Because he hasn't reflected long enough. I'm like, what is that? What? Why? Didn't he study psychology? Yes, he did. Before all of this. Yes, he did. Formata said she will protest the protesters. Yeah. So I also have to say, I don't think KBS, no matter what petition and how many signatures they get, I do not think KBS is going to ban Suga or BTS. KBS has too much money. If they know if they put BTS on their shows, they know damn well that they're going to get lots of ratings and lots of things. So don't y'all ever think I'm not dumb. I know this petition will go nowhere. That is not my point. I don't think any time that BTS is ever going to perform without Suga. No. And I know y'all don't believe that either. I cannot see any scenario beyond Suga being sick where BTS is like, well, Suga, you got to sit this one out. Like, BTS wouldn't agree to that. They wouldn't go along with that. And they wouldn't do Suga dirty. Like, they would not do Suga dirty like that. They would not be like, well, you got to sit this one out, bro. You're like, no. And I don't think that KBS would even pay attention to this petition, or the Arts and Entertainment Board or whatever would even have any validity to this. So that's not why I'm letting y'all know this. This is a bigger conversation about Suga's dilemma and what that means for BTS in the future and what that means for Suga. Okay. I don't know Suga personally. I don't know BTS personally. I'm not in a business like that. But I have a little bit of just enough knowledge to be dangerous about the business. I kept telling y'all over and over again, if you come to my live stream and subscribe to my channel, I said over and over again that we don't know what's happening behind the scenes with Suga. Suga and his scooter scandal, he's been laying low. Everything's been quiet. The members barely mention him. We understand that. But I kept telling people over and over again that behind the scenes, we don't know what's going on. We never know what's going on. And I said behind the scenes, from things that I have heard, is that collaborations may have fallen through, and that kind of people have kind of backed off of Suga a little bit inside the industry. Just because anytime someone has a scandal, this just happens, that people kind of like back off you a little bit. So Suga has been really, really laying low while he was in the military and volunteering. He really has been laying low. And Suga's a low-key kind of guy anyway. He's not out partying, adventuring. He's not like RM and Jimin. Like Suga naturally is a lay low kind of person. Like he'll go out places here and there. But I think Suga, from what I know, is pretty much a homebody. Like he likes working. He likes writing music. He likes being at home. He likes not being around all these people. So I can understand that. But I'm telling people, this is what the old people would say, checking the temperature. HYBE and Big Hit, if they're worth anything, the money they have a good PR team. They should have a good PR team. I hope, pray y'all, that they have a good PR team worth their merit. This PR team should have been getting ahead of this the moment the scooter thing broke. They should have been planning for when Suga was going to come home. And I feel like with him releasing the information about the hospital, that this is just a way to check the temperature of the public. And so I think they were waiting around and seeing, is there going to be a backlash? How much of a backlash? What kind of critics? What kind of things, And so to me, in my mind, if they're a good PR firm, they're going to incrementally, gradually do more things with Suga. So Suga gets out of the military. He releases a statement on Weverse. Okay, that's one. Then a day or two later, the stuff comes out about the hospital. So the PR teams are looking to see what people are writing online. Boom, then the petition hits. Now, again, KBS don't take the petition seriously. BTS HYBE don't take the petition seriously. But in the public, it doesn't look good. Also, KBS has advertisers. So advertisers are watching this as well, y'all. Advertisers are like, so this member had advertisers in Asia, okay? And internationally, we don't really care that much. Advertisers in Korea and Asia are going, okay, let's just see how this goes. And they're sitting back and watching this as well. So the more protests and petitions that are out there, it is detrimental to Suga in particular and to BTS. It's not a good look. It's not a favorable. It affects BTS outside the industry, mostly in Asia, and inside the industry, mostly in Asia. So to me, Suga is like in this catch-22 where how much time, I mean, they technically speaking, they got till March of 2026. So right now, Suga can lay low again, and probably over the next couple of months, we'll see Suga do maybe a Weverse quickly, and then maybe other little things quickly, not promotions, but just peek his head out a little bit, just to see how the Korean public are going to accept him. The Korean public, not Korean armies. They know, BTS know the army's going to support Suga regardless. That all the armies who act like they didn't support Suga, pretty much army got their asses in line last year. They were like, look, you need to fall in line because you need to line. Where the line at? You need to fall. You need to get behind the line because don't come up in here. Because, there was some in K Army. I remember when this hit. There was some K Army that was like, well, then other armies was like, K Army, go sit your ass down. Don't do it. They was like, K Army, don't do it. Shut up. Go sit your ass down. You need to support. So I understand that we had to get K Army together because some of them were trying to drag Suga low key. Some of them were like, well, he did do something. But we're like, no. Yeah. We're not doing this. And so when they had that fake video out, they really was like, well, we don't know. And then the real video came out and they was like, oh, okay. So, okay. He paid his fine, all that. K Army got in line. But what is happening is they're trying to see what the general public going to do because that affects advertisers. So again, this is a business conversation. This is not for us being in the fandom, especially international fans. Like I tell people, we international fans, we're like, what is the big damn deal? But when I go and look at Korea, it's like it's like a bizarro land. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, la, sugar, hey, sugar, hey, Yoongi, hey. And I come here and everyone's like, we love Yoongi. And oh, Yoongi. And then when I go to Korea, it's like, oh, he's too rich. And he ain't even that cute. I'm like, ooh. It's frost my poor little heart, Suga always being used to shift focus from something much more sinister. Suga was used, yeah. Me and my sister-in-law talked about that last year, the things with the president and the things with Moon Tae-il. I talked about Moon Tae-il last week and went off because Moon Tae-il, 10 days after the Suga thing, the Moon Tae-il thing happened, which Moon Tae-il now has came out saying that he guilty. He really did essay, him and his two friends essay the chick. Moon Tae-il, part of NCT 127, one of the biggest boy bands in Korea. They may not be big international, but they're big over there. The funeral wreaths. Y'all remember the funeral wreaths? It was NCT fans that sent the funeral wreaths. So, excuse me if I'm a little paranoid. People are like, oh, you paranoid. When I start seeing comments and they all have the same talking points, I'm like, are these bots? Are these paid bad actors? Why do these comments all sound the same? Why are these comments all talking about the same things? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I notice stuff like that. Like, why do I go to these Korean message boards and there's a bunch of people that are just talking the same things in this other board? And I'm like, well, these are different users, supposedly, allegedly. But I'm like, then I go to the comment section in videos and I'm like, who are these people? Like, why do they all have the same talking points? So I start getting a little paranoid. And again, I hate to descend into conspiracy, but I'll let y'all do that. I hate to descend into conspiracy, but it is odd for me, again, it is odd for me to go online and read things, and they're all having the same damn talking points. It is weird. So, they're even asking Suga to leave the group now. Again. They're going to boycott his promotions. So if Suga comes out with a solo, that was I heard allegedly, take with a grain of salt, allegedly, you didn't hear from me, but I heard that allegedly Suga was going to do a solo and that they had to rearrange some things because now they're like, okay, that's on hold. We don't know if Suga can't release a solo album right now. I mean, he can, but they're worried about how would the public, what would they do? Would they boycott it? Would they ban it? Where is he going to perform at? Where is he going to be able to perform places like Jin did? You know, Jin performed little small venues with the fans, and you know, and how lucky those Korean fans are to have Jin performing for you in a small ballroom somewhere, how lucky they are and how they take big BTS for granted. But I digress, because Jin had hope. Jin was out here doing the Lord's work, honey. Jin was out here working. He was doing God's work. Jin was out here doing fan meets. He was on carousels. He was talking to fans. He was out here doing small little intimate shows. These are all the things that I wanted to see, you know, other members do. It's just whatever they want to do. But who's behind this? I don't know. But I just feel like this is a concerted, this is a thing that's kind of slowly but surely in Korea building momentum. And I want to warn armies, because some armies are like, well, no, we just got to talk about the positive. No, we can't just talk about, because we got to be ready, y'all. We got to be ready, because to be forewarned is forearmed. Because if you were taking the gas, like, oh my God, what is happening in Korea? Because I said, regardless of international armies, and we're very important because the money comes from us, how important we try to be. But at the end of the day, I hate to say it, it starts in Korea. It lives and dies in Korea, unfortunately. And so they have to live in Korea. They have to work in Korea. They are a Korean group. They speak Korean mostly. And that is where their society, they have to live within that society unless they decide to move. Now, that may or may not be an option with their current contract terms and the things that they have to do to leave Seoul, because everything that they do is in Seoul. That's where HYBE is. Suga lives not too far away from all the rest of the members, and they all kind of live in the same place. And so I don't ever see anything where Suga would leave Seoul. I mean, his family's here, his friends here, but I don't know in time. I don't know. I don't know. I think HYBE's PR is just kind of taking it step by step. I think they just want to see, like, release things just to see how it's going to do with the public. They'll drag Yoongi again with BTS. Yeah, they will. I'm telling y'all, get ready for it. Because I had a lot of international armies come on here and be like, oh, when Suga come back, he's going to drop out this mixtape and he's going to tell all the haters. And I'm like, I don't think that, I told people before, this is not going to go the way you think it's going to go. And I told people, I said, armies, get ready. I've said it over and over again. I said, this is not going to go the way that we want it to go, or we kind of expecting it to go. So you have to be prepared for that. You have to be, especially those of you who are in social media spaces, you have to be prepared to come up against people who might be dragging Suga. Because it starts in Korea and then it spills over to the international. And then you're getting people who are not armies. And then the narrative that the K media did try to spin this narrative that fans are divided. Fans are not divided. Like, I read this over and over again. Well, fans are divided over the Suga, the Suga donation. Fans are divided. Fans are not divided. Those are not fans. Those are antis. Like, I'm like, what fandom? I haven't seen too much evidence of where real armies in Korea were divided over that. They were defending Suga left and right. They were coming for these people. They were like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. You know, that's disrespectful. Because people were saying very disrespectful things about Suga online. You know, tell about, yeah, we'll come next time but you have to be forewarned. That's why I told people like came on here and they didn't want me to talk about it. People were accusing me of spreading false rumor. I'm like, why in the name of God would I come on here and spread false things about Suga? And Suga's my bias. Suga's my ult. My whole channel is Suga everywhere. I don't want this for Suga. I don't want this for nobody in K-pop. I always come on my channel and defend people against scandals. I always come on here unless they've done something really heinous. Like Moon Tae-il was just inexcusable. But I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I was like, well, let's wait till the evidence come out and let's wait. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt before jumping on the flame bandwagon. And a lot of things that K-pop fans have a heart attack over is things that I don't consider even worth even talking about, because these are adult people doing adult things. But the fact that some armies want to bury their heads in the sand and being like, well, we're not going to mention this. And I was like, well, why wouldn't I mention this? Because I want other people to be aware of what is happening, like what is going on. So if you don't see Suga for a while, then you'll understand why. Or if he goes quiet, then y'all understand why. If we don't hear anything from Suga until February or March of next year, then you'll understand why. Because a lot of people are like, where is Suga? Why didn't he show up for his birthday? Why didn't he show up for the Lunar New Year? Why didn't he show? Now we understand what we're up against, y'all. Like, this is what we are up against. Like, he didn't show up because I believe that his PR team and maybe himself didn't want to go through it. And some people have said in my comment section, well, Suga don't pay attention to the haters. That's true. But the PR teams in Big Hit and HYBE are constantly scanning the internet. And they are going to come to him and be like, look, this is what's kind of happening. He doesn't have to read the comment section or the post. He doesn't have to read all that. His team is going to come to him and be like, look, this is what we're hearing. This is, he's going to ask them. So what did the public sense? What do you think we should do next? And then they should form a game plan of what to do next. Allegedly, hopefully, like, hopefully HYBE got their shit together. Hopefully they got it together to where they don't just leave Yoongi out there to the wolves. Now, I've heard things about HYBE not protecting their artists, but y'all know better than me. Y'all know K-pop, but SM protects their artists to the teeth. But as to what HYBE and Big Hit, I'm surely they're going to protect BTS. And another thing I have to pull up, and another thing I have to say, a business conversation. HYBE stock lives and dies with BTS. When BTS was saying they're coming back, their stock went up. Anytime there's kind of scandal with Suga, their stock went down. So BTS is the foundation of HYBE. They are the biggest thing in South Korea besides Samsung. They are the biggest thing in music and entertainment history. They have a lot of money tied up into BTS. BTS has a lot of money tied up into HYBE. You can't have things messing with the stock prices and making the markets go. You can't have that. You can't have BTS reputation being dragged for filth. You can't have BTS being boycotted from award shows or people showing up at award shows, outside award shows saying, with Suga-san saying, Suga, you're reckless or whatever. They can't have that. That's not a good look, period, for BTS, period. Because then once it starts there, it starts to get it into international spaces. If he released an album, Sasha K. Adams said, if he released an album, maybe some media with an agenda would start something, yes, but it would be big. Even the haters would be streaming, but I think Suga himself is very big on being respectful. I think Suga is very big on being respectful and private. I think Suga is a very private person. And I think him being a very respectful, private person, I can see that this has rattled him. I could see where this might have shaken his resolve. I mean, I don't think Suga's given up. He has a resolve. But then again, like I said, I forewarn people about these things because, again, not to bring the room down, we have lost so many K-pop singers and so many K actors and actresses. We have lost a lot. Like, there have been so many that I just throw my hands up a lot of times. Because then I'll read and be like, there go another one. There go another one. I'm like, damn. And then you find out that they're being harassed online or they're being bullied online or they may be being blackmailed. So I don't want any of this stuff to happen to Suga or BTS. I don't want Suga to be in a group that he helped found and he's been there forever. He's written songs and composed and performed with and helped build this company, to feel like he's a pariah, that he's some kind of thing to be shunned in his own country. Like, that is horrible, to be like, you're shunned, like, what are we going to do about the Suga situation? And I'm sure these conversations have been had privately behind Suga's back. Like, what are we going to do about the situation? And like I said, I hope to God that HYBE or Big Hit has a good PR team that are able to like a crisis management division to be able to mitigate these scandals. But again, I as much as I love HYBE and Big Hit and I appreciate everything that they've built, I appreciate Bang PD, something in the back of my mind is like, I don't know why I have that feeling. I don't have any kind of basis for it. I don't have any evidence for this feeling, but I just feel like something is just poking me, going, I don't know. Like, something just tells me that they have a plan, but don't really have a plan. And I think that that's dangerous. So I want to believe, I hope that I'm wrong. Yeah, I really hope that I'm wrong. I hope that HYBE has and Big Hit, they have it together. But I don't know. Something is just telling me that that somebody's going to drop the ball somewhere. Somebody's going to be like, oops, we didn't know this is going to happen. And then we all going to be like, what y'all doing? Like, hi, big head, what you doing? Like, what you doing? Like, I just feel like that they didn't really, just don't feel like they planned very well. And like I said, I may be wrong. I don't have any, this is a feeling that I have. Fermata says she totally agree. I just have this feeling that, like, considering the things that I've heard about HYBE not protecting their artists and just kind of like being silent and letting things die down, this is not going to work in this situation. I don't think the tactics that K-pop have used and HYBE is going to work in this particular situation. They're going to have to tell people, they're just going to, like, if I was PR, yes, I would gradually release things and put Suga out there, but I don't know. I don't know. Suga people, I can't. Sahai Devan, it's in another language. What language is that, boo? They're monopolizing. Yeah, I just think that, like, HYBE's way of dealing with it, I've seen from a little knowledge that I do have, y'all know better than me, is like, just not talk about it, be really private, don't say anything. And I just think that, like, in this digital age with social media and TikTok and Twitter, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think that strategy is going to work. I think if I would have had Suga lay low, and then once he got out of the military, I would have had him sit up there on the Weverse Live. Talk to your fans. Weverse should be a safe space. He should have came out there and did a video and been like, and people would have been in the comment section and some people would have said something. But I just feel like BTS has to lean into ARMY. Like, they have to just be like, and I understand that they have advertisers and you know, socially they have things, but I just feel like in these situations that BTS is such an international group that I hate to say that, I'm not trying to say that they don't need Korea, because they do, because that's their home country. But I just feel like that BTS Suga should have showed up and did the Weverse and been like, I'm finna do this Weverse. I'm finna sit up here with a cake. And y'all are not shaming me into the darkness. Because I feel like Suga is going to be shamed into the darkness. Like, we are just barely going to see him. No one's going to really talk about him a lot. And just things that I see, and I'm like, okay, we're not really talking about Suga. Like, I'm not blaming the other members, because they are in a contract and they have to do whatever the agency kind of tells them and what the agency thinks is best. And I'm sure that some of them are kind of like, well, okay. And some of them are kind of like, well, yeah, we have to do this or not do that. But I don't know how Suga could feel. It could go either way. Like, he could agree with this or not agree with it, or agree with some of it. And Suga wants to be a very private person, but I just feel like they are going to just sit on this and just not do anything, and just hopefully this will just blow over by March. And then when they find out that it may or may not blow over by March, they're going to be like, oh crap, what do we do now? People are still upset. It's March. I just feel like HYBE and Big Hit are stalling. They're just like, we gonna wait it out. We just gonna stall it. We just gonna see how it goes, and again, I don't have any evidence for that, but that's just how I feel. Like, they just kind of like, we'll just wait it out. And then, like I said, in my mind, if I was running PR, I would have been like, you release your statement, thing is about the charity gonna come out, we're gonna do a Weverse, and guess what you're gonna do on the Weverse? You're gonna get on the Weverse and talk about the charity. And that'll deflect the haters. You think BTS has a plan, especially RM and Suga? Hopefully they do. I could see BTS having a plan like RM and Suga, but I want the company to have a plan, because at the end of the day, it's the company that's really in control. At the end of the day, the company has to mitigate contracts and media and appearances. And I just don't want the fallout to happen and then Suga and RM or who else, they blame for it, when really it's the company. So hopefully the company has their back in a very constructive way, in a proactive way. Again, I wouldn't have did it like that, like they did it. I agree with Suga laying low, but the moment he would have came out, he would, like I said, they might do it. We'll see, cross my fingers. But within a week or two, I would have Suga on a Weverse talking about his foundation. Every time Suga would come and do an interview with anybody, he would get on there and talk about his foundation to deflect from the haters. Come out there and talk about the autistic kids you work with. Now let's see if anybody's going to say anything, because that deflects away from the haters. Go on a Weverse Live, do an interview with a friendly outlet, and just come on camera and be like, I'm going to answer some questions, and I'm going to answer questions about, I want to talk about the autistic children that I work with and what joy I got from that. Let the public see that. Let them bastards chew on that. Let them chew on that. Let them get mad about that. What can you, I mean, there's going to be haters, but they can't really get mad about that. He's not performing. He's not singing. He's not doing promotions for BTS like they said they're going to boycott. They're not going to boycott an interview when he's up there talking about autistic children. What can they say about that? They like, it's a publicity stunt. Okay, great. You sound like a broken record. Let him come on there and talk about his volunteering. And I think armies would be like, oh my God. I would be like, wow. Yoongi. I would be overjoyed. Armies would be overjoyed. And I think the general public who are not into K-pop, the interviews could go viral. They could play it internationally. And then let that be the narrative. Oh, this K-pop singer donated a bunch of money. I saw this, in Forbes. I saw this like online. Let it go international. And the more it goes viral and go international, the less the haters will have something to say. Again, it's a good deed. It's a charity thing. The more he gets out there and talks about, this is my legacy, I'm studying psychology, then people, it would take the sting out of what people have to say. Then international casuals will get behind it. And then once Korea starts criticizing Suga and they get wind of that, they're going to be like, that is an awful thing. Why are y'all criticizing this man? Because internationals don't play. The casual international people, the people who don't know Suga, they may read a story about him doing good, and then they find out that Koreans have something bad to say about a scooter incident. It would backfire on the haters in Korea, because then people would clown them. People would be like, they saying bad things about somebody who donated $3.6 million. Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Like, it would backfire on them. So that's what I would do as a PR person. And like I said, it wouldn't be a long interview. It wouldn't be a lot. I'd get him on a Weverse for like 5 minutes. And maybe he's on the Weverse 5 minutes strumming a guitar. And just, he don't have to say anything. If Suga was on a Weverse for 5 minutes strumming the guitar, y'all know y'all would lose your minds. I would lose my mind. Like, I would be like, Opa! I would lose my mind. Y'all know y'all would lose your minds. And he don't have to say anything. He don't have to look at the comments. He just come on here strumming his guitar, just showing y'all that he still loves music and he still can play music. Oh, you don't have expectations from HYBE. Look, Jimin know what I'm talking about. I do. I have such high expectations for Big Hit and HYBE, but then again, like I said, something is telling me, oh girl, you doing too much. Something's like, oh girl, you expecting too much out of me. Because I just don't have faith that they're gonna be able to finesse this. BTS 7 with Suga will give this world the element of surprise, and all the haters will lock their jaws. Hopefully so. Thanks, MTS Sati. I mean, I would love for just him, to just come on a Weverse late at night and just be up there and not saying anything and just strumming his guitar. Do that for 5 minutes and get off the Weverse live. He ain't got to say nothing. He ain't got to interact with nobody. Everybody would go crazy. It would go viral. I would post a video. Everybody would be excited. And that's it. He's not doing any promotions. He's not saying anything. He's not doing anything. It's just getting the public used to him being out there. And like I said, just baby steps, just 5 minutes. Hello, Miriam Latif. Hello, Snake White. Snake White, are you Russian? You Russian. You Russian. I would lose more than you lose more than your mind. I'm just putting it lightly. But I mean, armies would be happy. Like, fans would be happy. Casuals would be happy. Everybody would be happy. He doesn't have to say anything. Just give us a little taste of sugar. Just a little taste of the sugar. Y'all want to taste the sugar? Just a little taste, just a little sprinkle of sugar. Like, it just enough to just whet our appetite. Just be like, ooh, that was good. Just play guitar for us for 5 minutes. Or maybe play like the chords of a song that he's working on. Just leave a little mystery. Fans like a little mystery. Internationally, they like a little mystery. He would come on there and play a few chords, hum something we've never heard before, everybody be like, ooh, is that his new song? Change the narrative. Wouldn't y'all be talking? He got on here and just hummed some song and it sounded really good. We would all be wondering, like, is it a song he working on? Then he'll do another Weverse and come on for 5 minutes and play some beats. Maybe he'd come on there and play some beats and he'd hum a little bit. Suga up there humming. You ain't even got to see Suga. What if he did a Weverse and you would just see his hands and he tweaking the knobs and the boards? I don't know what kind of equipment they use whenever he's making beats. He would just have a machine like he did in the old video, and he would just see his hands in there mixing music. Y'all would lose your mind. Y'all would lose your mind. Just shook his hands just up there, and he's maybe singing, maybe he's rapping a little bit, or doing an unboxing video. Right? Maybe he would unbox whoever's new album that comes out. I don't know who's coming out with the next new album, but maybe whoever would come out with it would unbox, and we don't have to see him. He doesn't have to say anything to us. Where am I from? What do you mean, where am I from? Hello, July memories. But I mean, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just him showing his hands and humming a song and playing beats. And we all be like, is that a new song? What is that? Everybody would go crazy on the internet. People would go crazy. Because people be wondering, like, what song is that? Well, that's a new song. Well, that's not an old song. That's a new song. Is that something he's working on? Is it a solo? It would get everybody talking. That's how I would handle the PR. Just a little sprinkle of sugar here and there, just to whet your appetite a little bit. And get fans thinking and wondering and have a little mystery, because people like a little mystery. And so it would just get fans talking. And then the aunties wouldn't have really much to say. Like, what could they say? Oh, his hands look bad. I mean, them beats were not like, they can say whatever they want to say, but they can't be boycotting and petitioning anything if he's at his house doing Weverses. And you're just doing it for the fans. Suga's not on social media like that and everything like that. So he doesn't have to be on social media. He's just doing this strictly for his fans. And that's it. And then it would I think it would probably go viral if Suga came up there and, said a few lyrics and played the guitar. People would go crazy. People were like, it's a new song. It's a new song, y'all. Oh my God. Like that's all everybody be talking about. That's how, like I said, that's how I would handle it if I was PR. And then when it came time for BTS to perform, before they would perform, I would do an interview with all 7 members. Before they're scheduled to perform on KBS or Mnet or whatever, I would make sure that I have a nice little interview package where they're answering questions. And then we're going to go there. We're going to ask about the scooter incident. We're not going to be like, oh, we can't talk about it. Oh, don't say, because the more you keep it as this shameful thing, this big, huge secret, this big glaring thing that nobody wants to talk about, then it's going to keep being a scandal. Before they do their first performance or first concert or whatever, I'd have them come on and do like a 30-minute interview. And then we're going to ask Suga about the scooter thing. And then, they're going to approve of the questions ahead of time. And we're going to get ahead of it. We're just going to go there. I made a mistake. I apologize. I made a mistake. I was very stressed out. I don't know. I was thinking that night. I didn't know it was illegal to be on a scooter. I honestly didn't know. I apologize. I donated my time to kids because I felt like that was in my heart and my soul, that I had to get back to my roots, which was what I love, and music. And I'm trying to leave a legacy other than music. And I'm trying to do something bigger. And I've had a lot of time to reflect and look back on my career. And there's mistakes that I've made. I've been quite self-centered, maybe. And this is just a way for me to give back. That's all he had to say. And people can hate it or love it or shove it up there. Anyway. Or shove it up there. But if he came out and said stuff like that, again, there's going to be haters. But let the public know that I am not going to run and hide in shame. That I have nothing to be ashamed of. That y'all are not going to run me off into the darkness, whether mentally or physically. Like, I'm not going to be plunged into that good night because That's what y'all want. Yeah, because the public, these haters want Suga to go and run and hide. They want to have power, y'all. They want to say things and write petitions and threaten to boycott because they like, that'll fix them. Just like they run off that one dude that was in Rise. How they got him kicked out the group. Which SM should have never did. They should have told the haters, look, y'all on y'all own. How they kicked that boy out of the group and Rise. That was such a travesty. It was so crazy. That made international news. It was so crazy. And so that's what they want to do. They want to run. They want to scare BTS and scare Big Hit and run Suga off. Either him quit the group or him be so ashamed that he don't want to show his face anywhere. That would not be the strategy I would adopt. Hello, BTS 7 Kings. What app are you talking about? Weverse? Yeah, Suga already did his walk of shame. He already did a police line, but they want more. The public wants more than that. Even though he did a police line, in which I didn't agree that he should have done, but okay. Thank you, JK. I don't understand what they really want either. He's paid the fine. He's apologized. His license revoked. I don't understand what they want, JK, from what I've heard. What they want is Suga to run and hide and not show his face and for him to suffer more. That's what I've been explained by Koreans. They don't feel like Suga has suffered enough. He hasn't suffered enough. That's crazy to me. So how long is he supposed to suffer? Again, just like with TOP, it's been like, what, 9-10 years since this incident. People are still upset. People are still mad about TOP. I'm like, so how long is he supposed to be in hiding? Because BTS got shit to do, y'all. I'm like, 2026 come up real quick. So I'm like, Suga can't stay in hiding forever. He has to come out. Like, so I don't understand. I agree with you. I was like, so what do people want? They just want Suga to suffer. That's it. They just want him to suffer. Yes, suffering for fault. Yes. Yeah. Suffer for being someone rich and famous, and they're not. So there's jealousy there. That's part of it. Whenever these idols get to a certain height, it comes with a lot of jealousy. It comes with a lot of hatred because their lives are miserable. They don't like their lives. So a lot of people feel jealous about BTS, how successful that they have. Hello, Faizan. So that's a part of it. Korea is a very competitive society. So there's like I said, there's a lot of jealousy and envy. And then on top of that, you have the antis. You have other fandoms that don't like BTS. So that's another component of it. Then you have other agencies that don't like Big Hit and don't like HYBE. HYBE has made, from what I've learned, a lot of enemies. A lot of big enemies. And so, like I said, when I read these comments and the things that I've read and how these comments all kind of sound alike, I get to thinking, okay, so what PR firm had people hired to start this petition? Who are these concerned citizens? Who are they really? Are these real concerned citizens? Because like I said, a lot of the stuff that happened with the sugar scooter thing was just ridiculous. But I think some of it was stunts and tricks and PR moves. The government is hostile to them. HYBE is under pressure. Mello said a bank PDM is under investigation. We've all seen RM State of Mind. I know what RM State of Mind is, just sad. Each member will be in a similar situation in turn. I agree, Mello. I've said it before in my live stream. I say, y'all get ready when BTS get out the military. I said, somebody gonna have a baby mama somewhere. Somebody gonna have a sex scandal. They gonna make up. I said, I am not shocked at anything at this point. Somebody gonna have a love child. Somebody got a baby mama somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised you see people coming out the woodwork. Let me tell you, I dated Jimin, and Jimin, was doing freaky things with me. I wouldn't be surprised somebody would come out the woodworks and just make up stuff or just drop the dimes on them. From what I heard, I told y'all this months ago, that I heard that Dispatch was out there trying to pay people to get dirt on BTS. That they're on this again. That's what I heard allegedly. Take it from a grain of salt. Allegedly. I heard that Dispatch and other out were headhunting. that they were looking for information for when BTS get out the military. So don't be surprised if you just be sitting there minding your own business and something pop up in your feed and you're like, oh, damn. Just be like, Kiki told us this was going to happen. I'll be like, I told y'all. I've been saying this for months. They reopened the Bank PD case, not a HYBE thing. Yeah, Bank PD too. You know. Do I like BTS? I have a whole channel's BTS. But they reopened the case. I said, don't be surprised if you see somebody with an alleged love child. Don't see if somebody dated Bang PD and came out the woodwork and said he was a freak. Don't be surprised if some of the BTS members we wrapped up in some kind of alcohol or drinking or dating or whatever scandal. Don't be surprised if somebody's accused of doing illegal substances. Don't be surprised. Just know that you heard it from me first. Just be like, you gonna be sitting back at your house going, Kiki told us this is gonna happen. I told y'all. I said they are going to try to find anything that they can, I believe, to try to drag BTS. I'm not saying who's behind it. I don't know. Some people are accusing Minhee Jin. Some people are accusing SM. Some people are accusing Kakao. It may be all of them. Maybe none of them or all of them. It may just be individual, just create clout chasers. I don't know. I don't know. Hello, Justine Clark. Do I like J-Hope? Yeah, I did whole shorts on J-Hope. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm just saying, y'all, just get ready for it. Because again, over this whole year, the scooter scandal, they have tried to besmirch and defame Suga. They were saying things about his military service. I went online and read articles over and over again about people were saying that he was lazy in the military, that he didn't get along with people. Like these are articles that you can look up where they're saying that Suga was in the military, that he was not doing well, that he was lazy, that he didn't barely want to do anything. Like I like that anonymous people were coming forward after the scooters thing. They were trying to get Suga kicked out the military. Y'all remember that? They were trying to get him kicked out the army because of that. You know, they are human. Talking about armies stay ready. That is true. Armies do stay ready. You know, but yeah, they were trying to get him kicked out of the military last year. Like the military had to investigate and they come back and they release a statement saying he was off duty when this happened. So there's nothing that they can do. You know, and from what I heard, the military, they did pull Suga in and talk to him. From what I heard, allegedly. Remember, y'all ain't hear from me. Allegedly, I heard through the grapevine that the military did pull Suga in and talk to him about the incident and got a statement because that's what the military is supposed to do. And so he wasn't drinking while he was on duty. So there you go. Are you BTS Army? Yes. So yes, my name is Kiki. It's my channel. Welcome. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe my channel. I do a K-pop upstream every week. So yeah, they were messing with Suga about the whole military thing, you know, trying to drag his reputation. We don't know what Suga's experience was in the military. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know. I just know. I don't know. Do you happen to have any BTS pictures? I will be showing those in a minute. I had my birthday recently, so I got 3 albums. But so yeah, I just like I said, all in all, my biggest thing is that I hope Suga's okay. Like that's my whole thing. I just hope that he is okay. Suga seems like a very strong person, but I just hope he's okay. Like I hope my bias is Suga. So I just hope that he's okay. You know, that's my whole thing, and it's all of this. Regardless of what, like I said, I support BTS no matter what, all of them. But Suga is my ult. He's my ultimate bias. But I just hope that he is okay mentally and emotionally. I know that RM has talked about him being in the military and RM being candid saying things had affected him that was going on with the company. So I'm sure RM also wanted to say that the stuff with Suga probably was part of what he was talking about with the company that affected him. And that was kind of sad to realize because I said, y'all do know when he talks about things going on with the company, it's not just Bang PD and Because a lot went on with the company, y'all. If y'all don't know about what went on with the company this past year, baby, there's people that was embezzling money. There's insider trading. There was one guy that got fired that went under the radar, but this was a news story that he was pretending he worked closely with BTS on their team in Big Hit, and he was defrauding fans. He was defrauding Korean fans. Like it's a bunch of stuff has happened over the year with the company that RM. It's understandable he was worried about and stressed out about that. He couldn't do much about it. And then the whole stuff with Suga, I'm sure that he went through like, my God, oh my God, Diddy is here. Oh, you already subscribed. Thank you, Miriam. Your bias is J-Hope. I can see why J-Hope is your bias. J-Hope has come out strong. J-Hope has also talked about him wanting to do like a regular album, which I love. Let me just say something before I end this live stream. J-Hope has been phenomenal. Like J-Hope has shocked me, has shook me. J-Hope has got out there and looked good. He has songs, all three of them songs with bangers. I didn't get to go to his concert, but But J-Hope has shocked me. Like J-Hope really surprised me in a good way. I can see why y'all like J-Hope. Suga's great. He's just waiting for the right time. I hope he is. I have faith that he is okay. I think Suga is very strong. You don't be in this business this long and not be strong. And the things that they've gone through and not be strong. Again, my fear is always inside the business. I just don't, I have no control over this. But I feel that Suga has taken a social hit inside the business, like in his social circles and his business. I feel like there are people who support him that have not said anything because they're afraid to ruin their reputation. And then I feel like maybe there's some people that think he kind of deserves this in some way, that he effed up and he should just suffer the consequences for it and whatever. I think there's some of that too behind the scenes, y'all. I do. I honestly feel that in my heart of hearts, that there's some of that too. That they like, well, he deserved that, that people think that he deserved it. And I think that with a lot of the regular people feel that way too. That he got too big for his britches and he got too famous and he thought he was, better than everybody. I've heard stuff like that about Suga. And again, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know Suga, but I've heard things that some people felt like he was arrogant, which I don't understand what that has to do with the scooter. Regardless of Suga's personality, and no one's perfect, that has nothing to do with him being on a scooter and DUI on a scooter. It has nothing to do with, but I guess some people are calling, I guess I can put it as some people have called Suga's character into question. That's the best way I can put it. Some people have really called his character as a person and as a in this industry into question. And I won't say any more about that. But yes, Suga hasn't had any beef with anybody. People respect him in the industry. But I think after the scooter thing, some people are like, yeah. Some people, they could see it happening for some reason. And like I said, I don't know this man. Y'all don't know this man. Let's Suga you watching. That you Suga one of these people. One of the people on this live stream, you Suga. But I'm just saying, we don't know him, but I'm just saying from what I've heard and for the people that I know that work in the industry, that he's respected, he's greatly talented, but Suga may have rubbed some people the wrong way, but that's just human. I mean, that's just, you're going to work in the industry where you're not going to get along with everybody. Nothing serious, but just some people are just kind of like a little too gleeful. Fall of the mighty Suga. I've heard that, like, oh, he think he all that, especially in the hip hop community. Anyway, but y'all didn't hear that from me. Y'all did not hear that from me. Don't be going around telling people. Kiki said, don't tell. Allegedly, rumor allegedly, in some of these hip hop circles, they were like, oh my God, that's too bad. Like, I look. The jealousy is real. The jealousy be real in these hip hop spaces. Again, Suga's greatly respected for the most part. But in some of these hip hop spaces, they was like, oh, the mighty Suga. Yeah, the haters. It normally starts within. It does. And normally hello 40. Yeah, they try to pick on the ones that think they're weak. I agree. Like I said, in the hip hop spaces, y'all ain't hearing from me, but I'm just telling you that there is still um like when BTS was doing songs, when they were doing Dang, when they were one of my favorite songs because I'm a rap line girl. I'm a rap line girl. Rap line, whoa, rap line. But when they were doing Dang, that struck a chord with some people. I learned that some people was like, are they talking about us? Dang. they might be talking about you. Dang. I heard that some of the lyrics that RM has written and Suga written over the years have rubbed some people in the hip hop circles and in the wrong way a little bit. Some people have said things about BTS over the years that you've kind of known like how they kind of felt about BTS. But it's just jealousy. It's not anything like Suga and RM have done. It's just jealousy. So when Suga did the Scooter thing, like some people was like, kind of like, oh, that's so sad. Ha ha. And from what I learned behind the scenes, kind of make jokes about it. Like, oh, the mighty, like I said, they were like, oh, the mighty has fallen, oh, he's the rap god or whatever, because Suga, like a lot of people, when Suga went on tour and he had such a successful tour, internationally. I mean, Suga went on an international tour as a rapper, as a Korean rapper. Like that blew my mind. It's so amazing that y'all just don't understand. The fact that Suga went on a successful worldwide tour as a Korean rapper, the fact that Suga came out with an album, came out with D-Day and charted as high. Suga tour was one of the, I think, top 5 rap tours of that year. His album was on Rolling Stones as one of the top 5 rap albums of that year. Did some people in Korea feel salty about that? Yeah. Yeah. Especially people that have been in the game a lot longer, especially as some of the underground rappers. Did people feel jealous? Yeah. Yeah. They felt a little salty. I mean, nothing you can do, Suga's, people were going around saying that Suga's the best rapper that's come out of Korea. Do you think the rappers like to hear that? No, hell no. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. And then RM won an American Music Award and all that. They don't want to hear that. Like some of them are congratulatory and they like, okay, this is great. But there's some that just they was waiting for something to happen. They sitting around like, just waiting for something to happen. So there is jealousy in the business, especially when you're at the top of your game in a whole country, in a whole genre. And RM and Suga, to me, are the most famous, prolific rappers that come out of South Korea. And some people are not gonna like that. Some people don't want to hear that. Some people just don't like that. Greetings from UK. Hello, Fable. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Suga doesn't pay much attention, like I said, online. I don't think most of them do. Because they understand what the game is. They understand that there's gonna be haters and stuff like that. The only thing that, again, I worry about BTS, I don't care what anti-fans or people on Twitter, I'm not in those spaces. The only thing I worry about is whether it affects BTS on a financial level and opportunity level. BTS, of course, the singers want to grow. I can imagine. I can't speak for them, but I can imagine them as being artists that they want to grow and change and evolve and be successful at whatever they choose to be, whether it be writing, producing, singing, acting. They want to grow and change. They're growing and changing as a people, especially after the military. Some of them have changed more than others. And so their music style may change. I've said with Kim Tae-young that from what I have heard, again, I've heard, this is legend, take it with a grain of salt, that Kim Tae-young is looking to kind of tweak his style of music. That's what I heard. That Kim Tae-young wants to kind of change up his style a little bit. And they can do all that. So my only concern ever with BTS is about their money, about their bag. Whatever makes BTS happy, I'm happy. Whatever makes BTS successful, I'm happy. If BTS want to break apart and they all want to go their separate ways, I'll accept it and just move on. I will follow each one of them. But I've learned that BTS don't owe me nothing. That is their lives to live and go do whatever they want to do. They have to be happy with their lives and their careers and their legacy and whatever that they want to do. If Suga says, I'm done with this shit, I quit. I'm finna go live in I'm finna go get me a house in France and I'm gonna live as a hermit and I'm just gonna write music and no one's gonna hear from me again. I'll be like, Sugar, okay, I'm with you. Like, hey, I see you on the flip side, homie. You know, I'll be like, well, Sugar, that's what if he wants to go be a hermit in the French Riviera and just not talk to anybody and just go live his best life, baby, go live your best life. I'd be kind of sad, but I'm like, dang, BTS, man, y'all broke up. But I know it won't last forever. I've said it before. I don't think BTS is going to last forever. I think BTS, I don't know when their contract ends. I don't know what's going to happen. But I said before, I think BTS got about 5 years. They got about a good 5 to 6 years. And I think BTS they're going to go their separate ways. And they may come together for like reunion tours. But I think that several of them are very solo minded. Or they may just want to rest. I think RM wants to rest. I get a very restful feeling. I get a feeling from RM that he wants to just live his life. I think RM wants to go. He wants to travel. He wants to explore. I see RM still writing music and producing, but I think RM just wants to live his life. He just seems, out of all the BTS, the most like guy, like a real guy. RM seems like just a guy, like just a dude. You know, I just think RM just seems like a very normal, down-to-earth kind of guy. Like a kind of guy I'd go hang out with. I'd have a beer with. Like I would go to the movies with. RM just seems like a cool guy I would just want to go kick it with all the time. And I think he just gives off this vibe that he just wants to live his life. And he deserves it to go live his life. Like Tay, I think Kim Tae-young wants to produce music, and Jimin and Jungkook and J-Hope. I think that they want to do music, you know. And Jin, I don't know. I think Jin is just along for the ride. I think Jin's just kind of like, you know, whatever. I think Jin is a very go with the flow kind of person. Did I watch Squid Game season 3? No, I have not. Yeah, I do that they all stay strong and do what they love. Yes. And if they want to quit the music industry and be like, to hell with this is too much, then okay. Yeah, Tay has the whole jazzy genre kind of thing. But I think Tay, from what I hear, wants to kind of change it up a little bit. That he maybe wants to experiment with something and start incorporating some other things. He may go more towards a neo soul. He may do more towards soul music, R&B music, pushing more towards that way. Maybe it's something, maybe mixing a few up-tempo songs. But again, this is legend. Oh, wait, what are they doing? What are the fingers doing? Wait, stop it. What are y'all doing? No, allegedly, that y'all, you didn't hear from me. That's what I've heard. And I heard that there's going to be solos. So I hear that there's going to be promotions, maybe variety shows. I've heard that there's going to be solos announced in July. I heard that in July, allegedly, I heard that in July that they will be announcing something, and I don't know what it is. Maybe a TV show, maybe a solo. Yeah, the solos. I hear that the solos. I hear that JK. I keep hearing over and over again that JK is going to be the first solo. That's what I keep hearing, but I don't know if it's true. But I keep hearing JK. Anytime I hear anything about solos, it's always solo and JK. That's what I heard. So we take it with a grain of salt. But I keep hearing JK. Solo and JK. That's what I keep hearing. Or Jimin. I hear a little bit of Jimin too. So I don't know. Who's going to release their first solo. But either way, I'm anxious and I will support. Like I said, next month I'm going to the Jin's concert, July 25th, 3rd, I also got invited to an army after party. So I don't know if I'll be going to the army. But either way, I'm going to vlog it, even at whatever I do. So yeah, I will be going to Jen's concert here in Dallas. JK will be the first. I feel like JK will be the first. That's what I keep hearing the most. But I'm so excited to go to Jen's concert, y'all. Like I said, I will record and then put it together and vlog it. Just like I did for Stray Kids on this channel. I have to do the BB. So I'm going to Jen. I'm going to see ATs. I'm going to see The Rose. I'm going to see Kai. So yeah, I got 4 more concerts to go so far this year. You wait for the vlog. It's gonna be fun. Like I got good tickets. So it should be fun. So we're gonna have some fun. And then I eagerly wait for whatever Suga is going to do. Again, I would love for Suga to come out with a solo album or just drop some songs. But again, I'm not holding my breath. The way things have happened this week, I just don't think it's going to happen. The way things have happened this week. I had a little bit of more hope into the backlash and the petitions and the threaten for the boycotts. Then I'm just kind of like, that kind of got me down a little bit. I'm like, I was so excited, and so hopeful. And now like, I'm just kind of not as hopeful as I was before, which is ridiculous. And like I said, I don't think anything will come of these petitions. I don't think Suga will get banned. But I just think that PR wise, this is a nightmare. This is not good for Suga to make his comeback, because he needs to make a comeback. Like he needs to do a comeback himself. Like BTS is doing a comeback. And in the meantime, Suga needs to do a comeback, like I said. And last but not least, I have this. I have Map of the Soul. God is bigger than the haters, says Justine Clark. I hope so. BTS, from what I know, have never hurt anybody. They've never done anything to anybody, never hurt anybody. I found the hatred of them very, very weird. So this is what I got. Can y'all explain this weird picture? What is this? What is this weird picture? These are stickers. Y'all. Speaking of JK, it's like, hi. I love the way they say Jack hi. Jack hi. JK and Jimin are so funny together. Like I said, I just became ARMY last year, so everything I've seen about BTS mostly, except for Jin and J-Hope, has just been through like reruns of TV shows and stuff like that. I didn't know Weverse existed, and I joined Weverse in December, but I didn't know anything about like I have not seen BTS in real time. So this is very interesting for me to see them post stuff on Instagram and people to post it, and for them to make funny videos and do dance challenges. Like this is such a treat for me, who's watched everything about BTS just recorded. Like I'm watching the past. For the almost a whole year I've been ARMY, I've watched the past. So to see BTS in real time, it is just a delight. It's like every other day there's new pictures and something for me to dissect and look at. My favorite album is Wings, and I plan to get that one. Look at them. I have a pillow that looks like this. Looks like my pillow. Genuine people don't have to do anything behind. I apparently so for Mata. I guess I've learned that. I've learned that personally through my own life. Look at them. This looks like my pillow. My pillow has this on it. These are notes. These are notes. They're in Korean. Do y'all have this album? These are all the lyrics and the music and the stuff. So I'm just going to go through this real quick because I didn't have a chance to go through it for my birthday. I got it for my birthday. This is I've never had an album before. So this is my first. This is one of 3 that I got. I've never had an album before. I've never bought any kind of albums, K-pop or otherwise. So especially K-pop albums. I was just amazed at how elaborate they are. Hello, Lenny. I like this is a real cool. This is nice. Where's Suga at? Because that's all I look for is Suga with this sweater on. There he is. Look at Suga, looks so cute. He looks so cute though. And like I said, this is the first album I've ever had. So I've never, this is Map of the Soul 7. Look at Suga. I'm just looking at Suga. Sorry, y'all. You know, I you know. But if you want to see one of your bias, I'll put them up there. Is that the picture from Black Swan? Hey, K-pop home. Hello, Bubbles and Blossoms. Thank you very much. Happy belated birthday to me. Look at Suga. Look at them. Oi, daddy. The picture from Black Swan era, is it? I don't know. I don't have the Wings album. That's my favorite. That's the one but I'll get it. You know, I'll get it though. I'm not stressed about it. I like this picture right here. Like, who thought of these concept photos? I don't really like them, but anything that BTS is doing. And look at Jin. Jin, I can't, you know, every time I look at Jin and I look at old videos of Jin, what's happening? Suga getting canceled in Korea. I'll get to look at Jin, y'all. Hold on. Look at Jin. My God, today. My God, today. That is a pretty man. That is a good looking man. And Jin is good looking and like he's photogenic. Like he is, that's why they call him worldwide handsome, because he photographs real well. Jin is so stunning to me. Like facial, like he's very good looking. Okay, K-pop home. So Suga gave let's just recap. Suga gave a donation. I'm sure you probably heard about it, to that charity. Online, there was a huge backlash. People were saying, hello from Bangladesh. Online, people were saying that Suga was trying to buy his way back into the public, that he hadn't had time enough to reflect yet, that Suga, there was people who were congratulatory and said it was a nice thing what he did, but people just felt like, okay, he had $3.6 million to donate. How much money does he really have? These are, I kept reading these types of comments over and over and over and over again. And I thought it was odd because these same narratives would be all over message boards, K-pop message boards, comment sections and videos, that people were, you know, happy and saying it was really nice what he did. But then there was like 30 to 40% of the comments that was blasting Suga. So it got out even in news in Korea and internationally that there was a backlash and that the fans, quote unquote, the fans were divided. No, the fans aren't divided. It's just the Korean public blasting Suga. So right after that nonsense happened, there are a group of concerned citizens in South Korea who are saying that that they wanted Suga to be banned from performing on KBS. They didn't want to ban BTS, just Suga, because they feel like this brings awareness to DUI and that they feel like this is letting the public know that there's real consequences for DUI. Now, my question was, why didn't they do this last year? Why didn't they form a DUI group or an advocacy or do a campaign? Why didn't they do this last year? They went to Suga, get out of the military. They waited till the thing about the hospital dropped. And then the very next day, boom, they were filling out petitions. You know, you heard about the donations. They were filling out petitions. So I don't understand. If y'all really worried about DUI in South Korea, why didn't y'all do something last year right after the scooter thing? That just doesn't make any sense. Keeping Suga off of KBS is not going to bring awareness to DUI. Like those things don't even make any sense. Like, no. So they're just antis. Then people are online saying that if Suga does promotions, that they were going to boycott his promotions because they feel like he hasn't reflected long enough. And then some people were like, well, how was he able to volunteer and be in the military? And then some people were questioning whether he was volunteering that much at all. Some people were actually online saying, I said it earlier, that they thought it was some kind of grand conspiracy, that the hospital just kind of exaggerated Suga's role and that they just kind of, oh, well, I don't think he did all of that. That's what I've heard too. Do you really think he was volunteering with these kids? I don't think he did all of that. He was probably only there like every other weekend for 10 minutes. I've heard people have said this over and over again. Some of the comments and the things that I've been read, it's the same narratives over and over and over again. And that got me a little suspicious, a lot suspicious. I don't think KBS is going to ban Suga. I don't think BTS would ever perform without Suga. KBS wouldn't do that. They know armies would boycott KBS. They know it would be a big embarrassment to them. However, I believe this petition was set up to further intimidate Suga. That's honestly how I feel. I feel like when people threaten boycotts and do petitions and they do these things online, they are trying to intimidate Suga into keeping him under the radar and keeping him from coming out. I really do think that. Not just the haters, because there's going to be antis and going to be haters, but I think that there is a very odd narrative going on online that it just makes it sound like this is something like a PR firm or bots. Like, again, when I start reading the same comments over and over and over again, and they kind of sound the same, and these are supposedly different users, I get a little, and like I said, I don't want to divulge into conspiracies, but I just think it's very, very odd that these comments were saying the same things over and over and over again. And when I start seeing stuff like that, it just makes me think that this is PR, these are bots, this is a setup. And like I said, this is just to make Suga look bad. This is to intimidate Suga, intimidate Big Hit, and keep Suga further hidden. And I think that if Suga did come out and do promotions, then, you know, they're gonna swarm like vultures. And I said earlier that I hope that Big Hit or HYBE or whoever has a good PR plan. I don't feel comfortable that they have a PR plan, but I'm praying to the gods that they have a PR plan. So I don't know if they're just gonna play it to where they're just gonna keep Suga hidden and just keep him laying low. I don't know what their strategy is. Nobody really knows. But I hope to God they have some sort of strategy or plan, because keeping Suga hidden until March of 2026 ain't it, boo. It's not it for me. It's a no for me. I think that they should have Suga, I said earlier on Weverse, come out and do short 5-minute videos where he plays a song. He plays some beats or something. He doesn't say anything to the fans. He doesn't interact with the camera. He just comes on and plays his guitar, plays a little beat, twists some knobs, play a beat of a song, and get all the armies thinking, is this a new song? And add a mystery to it. And I think that if he does going to do an interview, he should talk about the hospital and the donation that he did. And that's all he should talk about for now. I think that would be my PR strategy. But again, I don't work for HYBE. I don't work for Big Hit. But I'm just letting you know that would be what my strategy would be. I would not let these fucking people drive me into the darkness. I wouldn't do it. But I don't know if HYBE and Big Hit have the gumption and the gall and the nerve to do it, to buck the system. And I just feel like they don't. I feel like they're just going to keep Suga hidden and maybe sprinkle a little bit here and a little bit there just to see how the public is going to do and kind of play it very safe and very conservative. And I just don't think that that's going to work with this public. I think you don't come out swinging, but I think you need to be a bit proactive. Yeah, they said that Jimin and Jungkook were out. You know, I did see that Jungkook and Jimin were out, and they were either on vacation or people are saying that they were filming new episodes for Are You Sure? Yes, but that's just a guess. Hello, Grammy interest. Are you Blackpink? I am not a Blinks, but the way they treat us like Suga killed somebody. Right. Or SA'd somebody. Moontail. I'm not gonna let it go. I will say it again, and I said it before in my live stream. When Suga got those funeral wreaths, it was proven that it was NCT 127 fans. So if these people, I did a live stream and they came to my channel last year when I did a live stream about Suga. So the NCT 127 fans, y'all can go straight to hell. Straight to the devil. Because no. They used to come to my channel and harass me, and I had to delete their comments. They the ones that bought the funeral wreaths for Suga, if y'all didn't understand. The NCT 127 to cover up the crimes of Moontail, that degenerate degenerate criminal who admitted that him and his two friends SA'd this girl, got her drunk, forced her in a taxi, took her back to one of their apartments and SA'd her for 40 minutes. These crazy lunatic NCT 127 fans were the ones that got together and paid for the funeral wreaths for Suga. Suga was getting death threats. He was being followed home from his military service, everything. All of this happened last year, and I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let anybody forget that the NCT 127 fans got together and was so pressed about their essayist, degenerate, weirdo, Moontail, that they were so pressed about it that these people went out and spent $10,000 on effing funeral wreaths against Suga. Give me a break. With the rise of Cat's Eye's popularity, I love Cat's Eye, but I love Cat's Eye. I love Cat's Eye. I'm glad Cat's Eye is getting all of the Gnarly, I thought was a funny song. My kid, her friends are all singing Gnarly. It's become like a TikTok thing. I like Gabriella a lot. Gabriella. I like that song. I love it. I love Gabriella. And they came out with just a new song yesterday. I forgot the name of it. I like that too. Hello, Rita LaBelle. Why are you uncomfortable with them actually getting noticed? I love it. That's their goal, is to make money. I want Cat's Eye to make money. And let me tell you, whoever styles Cat's Eye, hats off to you, sir or ma'ams. Whoever styles Cat's Eye, every time I see them, they look gorgeous. They look phenomenal. They look cute. They look kind of quirky. They look gorgeous. Cat's Eye looks so gorgeous to me. Like, I just be stopping like, them are some pretty girls. Like, them are some really, really, really pretty. Yeah, Game Boy is the song. Talking about they should have donated that money to Suga. So they should have donated the money. Anytime DD people want to have protest trucks and funeral wreaths, they should clap. HYBE should clap back and be like, well, you know what? Y'all could have spent that money helping autistic children. What kind of person are you? I would clap back at these people so bad. That's why I can't be working for no PR company in South Korea, because they would be like, ooh, because I would clap back at these people all the time. I like Game Boy. I like it. What's going on, sis, about my guy Suga? Hey, Yvette. We were talking about Suga donating to the hospital and creating a program for autistic children, and then the backlash in South Korea, because people were saying that Suga was trying to buy his reputation back. People were doubting that he really volunteered his time with these kids. People were doubting Suga's sincerity. People felt like he hadn't reflected long enough, whatever the hell that means. I'm still like, what does that mean? And then on top of that, people have signed a petition to get Suga banned from KBS. KBS is a Korean broadcasting station, which is the big station in Korea where all the, they have variety shows and where people perform. And then they were saying that if Suga does come out and do promotions, that they're going to boycott and protest. And they also have called once again for OT6. They want Suga to leave the group. So that's just it in a nutshell. So, yeah. Suga got a good heart. And Suga's donated, and I like to remind people again, this is not the first time Suga has donated anything. Suga has donated to many causes. And hold on, let me do another PSA. Public service announcement. Because I've heard some things about certain armies, because I was in an army around when the whole Palestine Gaza war broke out. So let me just do a PSA for y'all real quick. I know some people expected BTS to come out and say something about the war on Gaza. I know people were expecting BTS, and then there were fans out there, fans. I say it loosely because, again, BTS are grown. It's their career. They can say whatever they want to say. If BTS would have came out and said something about Gaza and Palestine, it would pretty much be career suicide. So I'm just letting y'all know, like, that's just dumb anyway. Second of all, they were either enlisted in the military when the Gaza war broke out, or they were about to go to the military. I'm like, you do know when they enlist and they have an enlistment date, they have a list of things that they can and cannot do. And commenting on the Ukraine war or the war in Gaza while they're fixing to go in the military for Korea is one of the clauses in there. I'm surprised nobody's brought this up, but I'm here to bring it up because a lot of people don't know this. A lot of international armies were all pressed about BTS apparently, and I missed all this. I wasn't Army then. But I'm here, but Kiki is here now. I am here now, y'all. So rest assured, I'm going to tell you, when you're in the military and you have an enlistment date and you're already enlisted, you cannot come out and say anything about an active war zone in another country. That's just common sense. I thought everybody knew that because I got online and argued with people yesterday. I was like, y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. There you go. So that's the thing. So they couldn't say anything about the war in Gaza because they're in the military. They can't be talking about active war zones. while in the military, who are technically speaking in an active war zone, especially when it comes to North Korea. So y'all act like this is a game. For South Korea, it is not a game. They are still, technically speaking, at war with North Korea. North Korea has a relationship with Ukraine. North Korea has a relationship with Iran. So you're getting into geopolitics that some of you people have no fucking clue what y'all talking about. So no, BTS shouldn't have said anything. No, they're not obligated, even if they weren't in the military, to say anything. They're not social activists. They are singers. Second of all, my biggest point is, you do know that people have donated to the Palestinian causes and the children of Gaza, but they just can't say anything. I can't say what Suga has done or not done. I have not heard. I'm not in Suga's pockets. But I do know of people in America and in other countries that have donated to Palestinian Children's Fund and food aid in Palestine, but they not say anything about it. And that's their right to donate and not say anything about it, because they know that it would have affected their career. They would have got a backlash. Somebody would have said something. Maybe their label wouldn't agree with it. So yes, you can donate anonymously and not say anything. So I don't know what BTS have done or have not done when it came to Palestine and Gaza. So I would tell people, shut the hell up, because you don't know what you're talking about. And we don't know. We don't know. So to sit there and people were, I was dumbfounded when I found out the other day that people were actively dragging and insulting BTS and insulting HYBE over the Palestine and the Gaza thing. And that grind, if people who watch this video who personally know me, y'all would understand why I get agitated. If you personally know me, you would be like, yeah, you would get that. So that agitates me to no end, because people are literally in the period on the internet talking about things that they do not understand, and they have no sense of depth with most of the time. So I'm telling you that that's my PSA announcement again for this live stream, that we don't know what we don't know. And so to sit up there and say like BTS don't care, they haven't done anything for Palestine, we don't know. We don't know. And it's not something that they need to broadcast or should be obligated to do so. So, it's a terrible conflict of interest for them to be in an active wartime situation commenting on another country. And so we just don't know. And I'm not mad at BTS about anything. I'm not mad about that. If anybody would be mad, it would be me. I'm like, it would be me. It would be I. So, like I said, for the people who really, really know me, they like, if you know, like you would be like, Kiki would be upset. I'm not upset for any celebrity not speaking on Gaza or doing anything like that. I admire the ones that are brave enough to step forward and say something, but I'm not going to begrudge any celebrity for not speaking on Gaza. It's a hot button issue that will almost be used by anti-fans to ruin BTS. Like they would swarm on it so quick. You don't give haters ammunition to throw at you. You don't give them bullets to put in the gun. Like that's just a loaded thing that you're just giving them ammo to aim at you. And I wouldn't want BTS to lose their careers or face some kind of backlash because of something that they did or didn't do that they've come on the record. But again, when they're in the military, they can't really speak on that. It's almost 5 a.m. Bye, Bubbles and Blossom. Take care. BTS don't need to speak anything out politically. They're artists first. Exactly. They're artists first. Period. Now, if they choose to speak on something, that would be their own decision. And I'm not begrudging them whether they want to do it, yes or not. And again, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. And so I tell people this all the time. I know people who have donated to various causes anonymously. Famous people that have donated to causes for years. Depending on what it is. And they have never said anything. Only a few people know that this persons or people have donated to specific causes. And I do know of people who have donated to Gaza that are well-known people, but they've just kept it hush hush. Even in Korea, I've heard about K-pop singers who have donated and they just never said anything. So you don't know before people go drag BTS or drag this artist or this group or that group. You just don't know. So you just, you just don't know. And then the last thing I want to talk about, have you guys watched, what is it? K-pop Demon Hunter. Have y'all watched that? I may watch that tonight. It keeps popping up in my feed. There was a couple of songs that came on in my feed that I was kind of vibing with, y'all. Now look, I'm not a kid, as you can tell, obviously, I'm not a child. K-pop Demon Hunter is not something even my 11-year-old is interested. She wouldn't even watch. First of all, she hates K-pop. Second of all, she's not interested in that. But I want to know, this keeps popping up in my feed, and I know that there are some Twice members that sang, that are like the girl group that sang. What's that all about? On Netflix, there is a show called K-pop Demon Hunters that everybody keeps talking about the music. And I've listened to a few songs, and I have to admit it's pretty good. It's about 3 female K-pop stars that are trying to thwart this boy K-pop group, but they're really demons. And so these 3 girls that are K-pop singers in South Korea, they're demon hunters. It's a cartoon, girl. It's a cartoon. So I'm into animation, but it's a cartoon. But I keep hearing everybody. So the girl group is sang by 3 Twice members. And then the boy group supposedly is patterned after TXT. And so they have, and then the songs that I heard, they was kind of bangers, y'all. I was like, I mean, they weren't bangers like bangers, like, but one song was a song called Free. Y'all can go online and look it up. So look up K-pop Demon Hunter if you haven't heard about it, but just look up the songs. Now I don't know if this is something I would watch. I don't know, but apparently a lot of people is talking about this. I didn't see people make videos about this. Apparently the songs have charted in South Korea. You know, yes, the songs have charted in South Korea. Like people are really, I was like, y'all are joking. People are like, no, the songs is charting. I said, wait a minute. A K-pop cartoon about female K-pop singers that hunt demons, and their arch nemesis is a 5-piece boy band. I said, you can't make this up. I was like, this sounds so outrageously crazy that I had to take a look at it. And apparently on Netflix it's really popular. I think it's like in the top 10. And then the songs have charted. And I said, look at the songs, and I'm like, are those songs charting in Korea? The songs have charted in Korea. So there is a song called Free. If you look it up, if you look up the songs, some of the songs is really good. And the boy band is called Saja Boys, Saja Boys, and they are patterned after TXT. So TXT went online and released a bunch of content on their YouTube channel. Go check it out. Support TXT, please. And so the Saja Boys is patterned after TXT. And I think that TXT did the singing voice for the Saja Boys. And the songs were really made by like real K-pop songwriters. So they do a slow song called Free, and it's phenomenal. And then they did, then the Saja Boys, the male demon group, they did a song, and that it's based on a TXT song. So TXT, I was looking at TXT and I was like, what is all this? So they started to release like their old concept videos and their old promotion videos, stuff that I had never seen. And so now, because of the Saja Boys, TXT sings their songs, it has brought a bunch of MOAs, which is the TXT fans, over to TXT. So TXT has been flooded with a lot of hits online because people are, little girls, is watching this K-pop Demon Hunter, and they like falling in love with these demon boys, and they like, oh, they're patterned after TXT. Yeah, like they did. Yeah, so TXT just got a whole generation of fans. So my question is, I had to bring it back to BTS. What do y'all think about BTS doing songs like for like they're talking about having another movie like K-pop Demon Hunter Part 2 because this is done so well. So what do y'all think about like BTS doing anime or lending their singing voices to maybe a fictional group? Or I find that fascinating that BTS hasn't done that I know of so far. Maybe you guys know better than I do, but I would love to see BTS lend their singing voices to like an anime, or I mean, not like just on the soundtrack, but just as like characters. Maybe 1 or 2 could be characters in an anime or animation. I would love. What do y'all think about that? I would love to see BTS branch off into because this thing has brought a whole new audience to TXT. Like they're amazed. Like this brought a whole flood of people looking up like TXT is like trending all over my YouTube. It just I was like, why is TXT keep popping up everywhere? Why are they releasing all these promos? They're releasing all these promos to get the new fans, to introduce themselves to TXT. So there would be a resounding success. You think so? That I think that this will open up a whole new avenue for BTS, like to bring in a bunch of fans that they never had before. And I see this happening with TXT, and I never thought that this corny looking. I mean, it's so corny. I haven't watched it, y'all. I'm gonna watch it and come back and tell y'all what it is. But so I can't call it corny, but it's corny looking. But don't they have a webtoon? I think BTS does have a webtoon already. I heard that they do have a webtoon, but I'm not on webtoon, so I don't know. But I think this would be a great opportunity for BTS to reach a new audience if they would do the voice over or the singing for animation or anime show or TV show where the main characters, they could be a singer and then they could write a song specifically for the show. And I think that they would bring in a bunch of new fans. Like I said, TXT has exploded. Like the new MOAs are hitting up the comment section and they were like, oh, this is TXT. Oh, they were like, oh my God, they're so cute. Like I was reading the comments and the ones that are like, oh, we came over from Demon Hunter. What is this? What is this? And so they just having fun. And so the old MOAs was introducing them, like, here's the members' names and here's what they do. And then they kind of have the same storyline that the Saja boys and Demon Hunter did, because TXT kind of had like the same kind of storyline. And so it's brought a whole bunch of like, I think the demographic for this Demon Hunter show is like probably 9, 10, 11-year-olds, like preteens. So these preteens have like all discovered TXT now, which is great for business, but I would love to see BTS branch out into something, where they bring in new fans by doing a voiceover or doing characters in a story. I think that would be so cool. So I just thought about that. But anyway, guys, Yvette, Fermata, K-Pop Home, JK, all my people who showed up on this live stream. I can't, Bubbles and Blossom is gone, but all these people that showed up, Nikki Verse, Rita, Afrin, all the people. I tell them stop recruiting. All the people that showed up, I really appreciate it. I would like to say much love to all of everybody that's come here from different countries. I would like to say hola, ¿cómo estás? Año, annyeonghaseyo, ni hao, guten tag. To all my Muslim brothers and sisters, I would say assalamu alaikum. Yeah, to all of y'all. And I just hope you guys have a good night, a good day, or whatever. I've been on here almost 3 hours and I'm starting to get tired. I'm finna go get me something to eat. I'm finna probably watch me some K-pop Demon Hunter, y'all. And peace to everybody out there. I do have users that are in Iran. So all my friends that are in Tehran, I'd say hi. Hi. About time you're done. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer is like, about time you're done, girl. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, my sister-in-law tells me I'm done. She's like, girl, you done. Okay, get off the line. But I thank you guys very much. So, and I appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. But anyway, guys, love BTS. Love yourself. Like BTS says, love yourself. Oh, Moonlight God. Girl, you late, girl. We just ended the live stream, girl. But I'll be back next week. You can always rewind it. And again, within 24 hours, I'll come on here and I'll put timestamps about what we talked about today. So y'all know y'all can go to wherever part y'all want to talk about. But good night and much love, y'all. I think it's pretty late here. But anyway, I'm going to bed. It's hot. I'm out of here. Bye. 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 Oh, bye.